him with a baseball bat.
I am Shelby Cross! Do not ever attack me!
Now, folks, I acknowledge that this man may have never been a threat, but a potential threat is just as dangerous as a real one. I don't play games with my life, and neither should you, and that's it.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Yeah, it's Free Talk Live. Welcome to another edition where you can take control of the airwaves. You can bring up anything that you want. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. In the studio tonight, you've got me, Ian.
And Lumpy.
And Mark.
Got special guest Lumpy in the studio tonight. He's been chilling and keen the last few days, thanks to the government. They they put you here for a little while.
Well, yeah, it's I could be back, but this is a good place to be.
Well, they pulled you over for some sort of unregistered something or other back down in Massachusetts. You had to get a tow up here.
Yeah, it was just a license plate issue, and then they took the plate. So
just making your life so much easier, much better.
Oh yeah.
Just like
they help me
the
so much.
Local gang here in New Hampshire has had a reopening, another step right in this long, arduous, costly reopening process that they've been having, where now you can go inside a restaurant and sit down and eat.
Is 100% seating or 50%?
Well, it depends on how you calculate. According to the rules, as written by His Highness or His Excellency himself,
yes.
Chris Sununu.
You think that's a joke? That's our governor's title.
That's actually what it says in the
he's got his
orders.
own pronoun, His Excellency.
His Excellency. So this guy in his order that's applying, I guess now, says that 4 counties in New Hampshire. There's only 10 counties in New Hampshire, so 4 of them, the most populated ones, so Hillsborough, which has Manchester and whatever other ones are around there, they are allowed to have people at 50% capacity in the restaurant. Other counties, the other 6 counties, are allowed to have, quotes, 100% capacity, but the tables cannot be any closer, or the chairs from the tables, the people sitting in the chairs basically, cannot be any closer than 6 feet from one another, supposedly. So 100% capacity after you've removed half the tables.
Yeah, if you can keep tables. So it's tables 6 feet?
Basically, the humans have to be 6 feet away from
How
one
do you
another.
do that?
You have to take out tables.
You're going to have to.
Yeah.
Because
Which means you're not really at 100% capacity.
If your restaurant has your tables 6 feet apart, I'd be surprised. Like a previous restaurant prior to all this, tables being 6 feet apart, I'd be surprised. But a restaurant where the human beings are all 6 feet apart that are at separate tables, that sounds hard.
Now, that's the way it's supposed to be, but the reality on the ground may be a little bit different. I was in a bar, and I won't say which one of them recently, that had people sitting at the bar together. They were not spaced 6 feet apart, and that warms my heart when I see things like that happening. And I was told by Aria DeMezzo, one of our other co-hosts, she was at a bar that was their first day reopening was this week. They'd closed during the whole COVID crackdown thing, but she said the place was packed. That there wasn't a single person who was social distancing, and the only person wearing a mask was the doorman.
If they asked me to do anything weird like that, and I'm just going to say, are you really sure? Are you really sure? I'm going to ask them, and then I'm going to probably just leave. Because
you mean if they ask you to put a mask on or something?
Or do
like
something,
that?
Yeah, which is weird enough anyway, in my book.
It's only happened to me at one place, and that's a regional bank called Citizens Bank.
We went to the Jamaican place last night, nobody and I in it. We were the only people in it, so we were fine.
Yeah, I think that you should wear a mask if you want to wear a mask. You should stay home if you want to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
All of those things, but what it sounds like is that when these bars reopen and people just rush in to pay sextuple for a beer, that they must be missing out on something, whatever that thing is. They're looking forward to something happen, because all of them know that whatever the chances of getting whatever this virus might have been have increased by going into this place. They all know that they're paying significantly more for the beer. So why are they going? I don't know, but I think it's because we're a gregarious creature and we need human contact.
Yeah, well, humans are social animals. I mean, for the most part, with the exception of like a psychopath or something like that. But for the most part, people do appreciate being around others. And that's why this whole thing has been just so sad to watch, as so many people have been so obediently staying home and doing what they were told.
And the one thing that I don't have as far as numbers, I'm keeping an eye on the CDC's numbers of deaths at their website and all that stuff. Is what I don't have is these deaths of despair. Now, I've been told
You mean
some numbers.
suicides?
Suicide, people who are forced to stay at home with an abusive spouse, people who have consumed too much alcohol in the evening and died of alcohol poisoning overnight. There's a variety of things.
Are alcohol poisonings up right now? Are they?
How can they not be?
Well, I don't know if you've seen anything. You're speculating.
I am speculating. No, I didn't speculate. I asked a question, and I haven't seen any numbers, but I'll bet you that these numbers are up.
Okay, just to be clear, you have not seen numbers about that. Okay,
I haven't, but I'd be willing to bet that alcohol poisoning has gone up by a tremendous percentage.
And I bet a lot of people who had fallen off or had quit doing whatever hard drugs that they quit doing may have gone back on those.
I don't know how you'd find them necessarily. If your drug dealer's out, taking a Corona break.
I don't think drug dealers care that much about the governor's orders, dude. The reason why they're drug dealers is because they don't care what the law says. And that's what I love seeing. I love seeing businesses that ignore that crap and keep operating. I just heard about a local business here in Keene that heroically was still allowing their customers to come in. It was a local gym, that during the Corona thing, the crackdown, they had papered up the windows on the gym. So the front door, the windows, all papered up. But they were still letting known customers into the gym so they could work out. Well, apparently somebody snitched them out, and the Keene police showed up more than once and issued threats to this person, which didn't show up on my public records request because they may have only verbally threatened him. So I had put in a request for written anything that the police department had given in written form to any businesses during the last 3 months, basically. And they only came back with one response, and it was the one that I already knew existed, and now I've just found out about this other one. But again, it may have just been a physical and verbal intimidation. That guy ended up closing his doors entirely and moving to a completely different location in like a warehouse district.
If you had fewer than 10 people in the gym, why would it be a concern to anybody? I mean, it's not a violation of the governor's order.
There are these busybodies out there, and yes, Mark, it depends on your interpretation of the governor's orders. There was a so-called stay-at-home order in place, which had a loophole, what Arya and I would have argued was a pretty good loophole that said something, I don't have it in front of me, the exact wording, but it said something to the effect of, and anything else that you need to make, yourself well, or something like that, like some sort of thing that you could have pushed a Mack truck through in theory.
Yeah, the gym could certainly be considered a wellness visit, right?
Yeah.
You're healthier, presumably.
Well, we would have argued that simply being around other people would make us well, so therefore
I would agree with that,
we would
too.
do that.
My concern is that here's another business that went down the tubes, and I don't know, like, if you lose a business, you're pretty demoralized.
Oh yeah, my God! I mean, how much money, and time?
How many
have you put into
suicides?
that? How many business-related suicides? Yeah, I don't know. That's
the
a great
real
question.
virus is Stockholm syndrome.
The real virus is fear in this case, because that's what got people so crazy. And so now we're seeing the bankruptcies coming in. We're seeing various businesses. We already heard about JCPenney, for instance, going to be closing, what is it?
Haven't they already closed a bunch of times, though? Like
that was Sears.
Kmart and Sears.
Yeah.
Right, but American Icon went down the tubes. Probably, and I believe this is like most Corona deaths. But, it was a death that was coming. It just happened to be kicked forward.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of these retailers were already having a tough time.
And here's my prediction on many of these Corona deaths, because the numbers for deaths in America went up. I mean, the highest normally is about 60,000, and it was up near 80,000 per week. And
you're saying it's normally 60,000 per week, but it was at 80,000?
50 to 60,000 per week, and it was up to 80,000 for like 1 week. And it's sort of, it was a little hill that worked its way up to those numbers. But if those numbers are if they're all Corona deaths, and you can decide whether that's true or not, if they're full of people that were going to die in 1 week, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 16 weeks, I don't know how long it's going to be, call it 104 weeks, whatever the period of time is, presumably we'll have fewer deaths in the United States going forward, because you can only die once. And these people died. And so they can't die again. They can't die when they're supposed to die.
And
they had to die now.
and other people are immune from it now because they caught it.
And I mean, the news loves to trot out stories of young people getting this, especially kids and that sort of thing. But the fact of the matter is it's a very high percentage of people who were quite elderly. And
elderly and infirmed. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Well, it wasn't just this local gym. They, by the way, did reopen, so the gym simply moved to a less public location where fewer Karens were likely to be seeing them in operation. There's more coming up here in moments. This is Free Talk Live.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org. The monetary evolution comes to Las Vegas. Crypto Vegas is a one-day event featuring some of the brightest and most innovative minds in blockchain technology. Juan Galt, Anastasia Sergeyevna, Lynn Ulbricht, Jim Bell, Elise Sam, Float CEO Kingsley Edwards, and more. Tickets start at $20.20, and you can save 10% on VIP tickets using code FTL at CryptoVegasConference.com. July 18th, join Free Talk Live at CryptoVegasConference.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
We don't claim to have all of the answers.
We are open to all peaceful people.
We want to learn from each other.
What unifies the Shire Free Church and its diverse members is peace,
love,
and liberty. There are many paths to God, one for every individual.
The Shire Free Church does not define a specific path beyond those parameters that must be your foundation.
Peace as your way.
Love as your guide.
And liberty as your light.
Learn more at church.shiresociety.com.
That's church.shiresociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it.
Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You may dial in toll-free, take control of the airwaves, bring up whatever you want. Our number, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. As we are still in this sort of bizarro medical authoritarian nightmare world that is becoming a little more tolerable, because now you can at the very least go inside a restaurant and sit down and eat. In some places, I don't know how many states are allowing this, but in New Hampshire, the so-called live free or die state, that just started this week. So other places like Georgia have had that in place now for 3 or 4 weeks or something like that. So New Hampshire way behind the ball compared to some other states, but I don't know what's going on out in California. I haven't heard any updates from there. So if you want to update us on what's happening around you, what sort of things are allowed and what sort of things are still prohibited, 855-450-FREE is our number. That's 855-450-3733. I also want to make sure you know about Intercoin. Now, just as the internet is a global network that connects local networks, Intercoin is a global currency platform that enables communities around the world to issue and manage their own currency to circulate among their local population. Intercoin enables fintech innovation on the local community level, leading to stronger communities, greater sustainability, less poverty, and more productivity. Intercoin is attempting to regain some of our freedoms that are threatened on the internet and in meat space. We think that's important here on Free Talk Live, so important that Free Talk Live accepted $40,000 worth of Intercoin tokens from Intercoin Incorporated for advertising. If you think freedom is important too, check out intercoin.org. That's intercoin.org. You can invest in this project and potentially make big gains, or just be involved and perhaps shape its future. Intercoin.org.
Yeah, well, I would tell you this, that the news is reporting that Florida, Texas, and Arizona have a record number of COVID cases going forward. If
a record number total or just recently?
For themselves.
Okay.
And, so presumably if the heat isn't killing coronavirus, and that's what we're being told, then there's more cases of coronavirus in the United States now than there were when, the news began to blow up about, this is going to be a terrible pandemic. So
are we going to start seeing more shutdowns, like a re-shutdown?
I don't think so. I think that the states are sick of that. And
the states or the people?
Well,
because the state loves shutdowns.
Oh, yeah.
The state loves control, and this has given them an unprecedented level of obedience from the population and control over their
Just
their
look
lives.
at all those people with masks. To me, those are the obedient ones.
Well, I think that to some extent, the lockdowns occurred because a lot of people wanted them to occur, and they didn't know what to do, and there weren't a lot of answers. And there weren't a lot of answers. We have a lot more answers than we had. If the lockdowns are a good idea, then they should be done on smaller bases rather than just sort of, the largest economy in the world just shuts down all at one time. That doesn't make as much sense.
Well, that's what happened.
Yeah, I know. And
you think they're going to do it differently next time?
I don't think.
You don't think there is going to be a next time?
I think the danger of what has occurred is that we have now told politicians, unaccountable politicians, people that whose name is synonymous with liars and thieves, people that the average American person has claimed to hate up to this point, have run to these politicians to say, please solve this problem. And of course, the only solution they have is force. We have allowed them to shut down the economy for what appears to have not been a very pandemic-y pandemic, right? So
they tried to make it sound like it was.
Well,
and
that's the
people
thing.
Believed it.
Well, I don't know who they
believed.
Is. Who's they?
People. Lots of them. They believed the politicians.
Well,
the very same people they think are liars and thieves. They didn't have that, questioning status when they were telling them about their health.
They were listening, and the politicians were listening to, epidemiologists and pandemicists or whatever these doctors are.
Who, in many cases, work for the state.
Well, many of them do, but let's not forget that it's their job to be careful, right?
Whose job? The epidemiologist?
Sure.
Okay.
A doctor is going to tell you the most careful thing to do every single time. If you go to your doctor and ask them whether you should jump out of airplanes doing skydiving, the chances are good they're going to say, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Third sapest sport in the world.
Is that right?
It might be. I have no idea. But whatever the claim is they're going to tell you, okay, so here's the story I've heard. And, they're going to tell you things. Okay, so and like weathermen in Florida, by God, don't ask them about hurricanes because you're just going to sit there listening and listening and listening over and over again. These people are paid to be careful. Whereas we all have 80 years on this planet. How many months of those 80 years do we want to spend locked in our houses? Because somebody's told a politician,
apparently
this
quite a
next
few.
flu season's going to be super scary.
I know somebody, I'm not going to say who it is, but I found out recently that somebody who I had known previously, and to some extent, had moved to Vermont from New York City. And I had received an email from this person because I said, oh, hey, we're neighbors now. Maybe we could get together and grab some dinner or something like that. And this person wrote back to me basically saying, thanks for the invite, but no, we're hunkering down here in Vermont. And this is, this was yesterday when this email was sent, right? So they're still hunkering down after them having moved there 6 weeks at least from New York City. So they've been there plenty of time hunkered down, but they still are. She says they're not going out to any restaurants. She doesn't want to have any social contact whatsoever. And it's just like, I can't even imagine living in that kind of fear. And we're talking about people in their 30s, mind you.
I can see if somebody went through New York. And, New York and Corona was bad if you listen to the right news outlets. Now, the chances are good you didn't meet too many people who got it or who were, had a terrible case of it or something like that.
Because it really wasn't that bad. It was like the flu.
The deadly cases occurred in the nursing homes that the governor forced to take Corona patients, right? Like that's where the people died in New York.
Well, plus we also saw the government was working up the numbers and totally, falsifying a bunch of numbers.
80% false positives on the tests was around for
a
while.
Somebody dies of, they must have had Corona. Let's get the extra money in here. Because they got paid based on Corona findings.
That certainly could be the case.
Yeah. No, it's the case.
Yeah.
And then nobody was going to the hospital otherwise, so that's going to be the only way they're going to make any damn money. So
right, the hospitals have been shut down by the government so that the hospitals can deal with all these Corona cases, and then there's wards and wards that are just empty.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was talking with my roommate about this last night, and he seems to think, and you seem to be on this side, Mark, that next time people won't put up with this, and it doesn't. I don't think that's the case. I think people are going to put up with anything they're told to do.
That's the
evidence.
Thing. So I was telling you before, I was in a convenience store down in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I'm in line, and the woman in front says to the lady on the register, "Wow, hey, you have such a nice mask." And the lady behind the counter replied, "Well, thank you. So and so made it for me, your mother or somebody." I just turned to mush inside. I never in my life thought I'd be hearing this kind of conversations come from people.
It's something that people can relate to. So I've heard these conversations as well when I've been waiting in lines.
I
and
always
things
tell
like
them
that.
Nice smile, even if they have the mask on.
Oh,
especially if they have
that's
the mask
such a cool mask. You'll hear people say, and it's the equivalent of them talking about the weather or them talking about the Patriots or whatever. It's something that they have in common, so they can discuss this thing.
We're all paranoid together.
The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can share your thoughts on the so-called reopening into this ridiculous new normal, as people have been labeling it. It's Free Talk Live. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us.
Demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, you dial if you want to join us on the radio. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. It's 855-450-3733. Coming up in like a month from now, Crypto Vegas and Anarcho Vegas 2020 are going to be taking place in Vegas. And from what I understand, there's not a whole lot else you can do in Vegas right about now. Although I've heard some of the casinos are reopening under some, I'm sure, ridiculous medical tyranny stuff.
The hookers are wearing masks?
I don't know. I don't think
What
you're allowed
does
to be a
that do?
hooker in Vegas, but I'm sure they do it anyway.
People don't understand how communicable diseases work if they're wearing masks.
AnarchoVegas.com and CryptoVegasConference.com are where you can go to get your tickets. They're $20.20 a piece. And so it's a 2-day event, 1 day for each, right? So you got Crypto Vegas, Anarcho Vegas.
But 2020 is clearly about as cheap as you could make a ticket.
That's
and so
unbelievable.
$40 for the two events is still
that's
bargain.
Super cheap for an actual physical convention.
It's so cheap that the coupon code FTL is really only good for the VIP tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, really, do you want to discount a $20.20 ticket?
AnarchoVegas.com, CryptoVegasConference.com. It's July 18th and 19th. Free Talk Live expected to be present for this event. I'm going to do my best to get there.
When you say expected to be present,
you and Arya are definitely willing to put on masks to get on an airplane. However,
I am definitely
not.
willing to put on a mask to get on an airplane.
So
I don't know whether I can't guarantee the airplane gets there.
True, that's true.
So
we're expecting to be in attendance there and broadcasting from the event.
You
Check
are simply unwilling to put a mask on.
Well, that's right. We'll look forward to seeing you there.
And I'd also like the audience to just stop and think for a minute what it's like to deal with somebody who simply won't put on a mask to travel on an airplane.
Yeah, I'm not going to put a mask on to do anything.
Amen.
Not interested in disconnecting my humanity from the rest of humanity.
You're not going to French kiss the other passengers. Who cares?
Well, maybe he's lucky. One can hope.
Not about that, Mark. It's about being able to see expressions on other people's faces and being able to connect with
I've
people.
called the mask wearing dehumanizing for a long time.
Totally
That's exactly what it's about.
And I think that's one of the most insidious parts about this is not only are they dehumanizing you by having people wear masks, because by the way, you live in Massachusetts right now. You're here on a brief
I still
vacation.
won't wear a mask.
But it's supposedly mandatory down there, is it not?
But I walk into Home Depot all the time. I walk into hardware stores, but I won't go into them if they're gonna give me too much of a hard time. No.
The government gang hasn't been.
No, but I kind of go in there and you can kind of see the attitude on my face. Like if you say something,
don't talk to me.
Yeah, go. Good luck. Good luck.
So not only do you have the dehumanizing aspect of you can't see someone's actual facial expressions, you also have the dehumanizing aspect of, oh my God, keep away from me.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I was at the liquor store a couple weeks back, and they went the opposite way. I mean, in the line,
aisle.
In the aisle, this lady went. I mean, I was just amazed. She had this paranoia she had. I'm like, usually
so wait,
do
she
that
turned around like you mean like you were going up the aisle and she was coming your direction and turned around to avoid you?
Okay, yeah. Well, the aisles are pretty wide. They're about 9 feet wide, and then I mean, she just went. She just took a beeline right to the opposite side. I'm on there.
Oh, I see. She was walking towards you. She was coming towards you, but pushed herself up as far against the other side of the aisle. I see.
I mean, it's just couldn't get near someone else, another human being.
Insane.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so if you're reading the literature that they're putting out on this stuff, now they're saying that this virus is basically only airborne, and it is spread inside a building.
Whereas before they said that it could like sit on a surface for weeks.
Right, they're telling you to wash your hands and all kinds of things. Right, wash your hands, and washing your hands is a good idea because there's lots of things out there that can kill you, and it won't be this necessarily. Important. But today on NPR, I hear some epidemiologist from Minnesota saying, hand washing is probably not as big of a deal, and it's really just about sort of how many people are in a building and the viral load that's going on at that given time.
This is a load, I'll tell you that.
Outdoors, I'm seeing people take their dog and walk around me, like to the other side of the street to get away from me, and things like that. I mean,
is this out where you live?
Doors.
Or here in Keene?
Out where I live, there's a bunch of really old people who are worried about everything.
That's what's happening? It's happening where you live?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yes, it's happening to me, and I'm alive when it's there, so it's happening in a variety of different places that I have been.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. This other human being who previously was no threat to you whatsoever, unless they were intending to beat you or rob you. Now everyone's a threat simply because they're within some sort of distance of you, and now everything has changed because of that. So despite all of the undoings of these things that they were saying, Mark, that they've gone back on saying thing number A, B, or C or whatever about this COVID thing. They've undone a lot of it. Well, most people aren't reading those things. Right. They're just going based on what they're told to do, and every corporation is playing it extra safe.
Sure.
So they've got all the warnings up on the doors, and you'll see people in parking lots putting on masks just so they can go into the store. I did it today. Because that's what... So you're part of the problem.
Went and got my hair cut, and in order to get my hair cut, I needed to wear a mask.
Yeah, that's sad. So sad. But some people are doing it just to go into Walmart.
I have no problem with this, by the way.
You like the masks. You're antisocial.
No, I like the masks because I don't want the facial recognition software to
You're also kind of antisocial. You kind of stay at home.
I'm fine with mask wearing, and there's, I think, some good things. I mean, by God, if this whole thing can kill off government school... wouldn't that be worth it?
That's not going to happen. They're going to get... If they don't send the kids back to school...
Schools in New York are looking at half weeks, basically.
They'll still get full pay. They're not going to cut the costs.
If you can cut attendance, at some point or another, you're cutting pay. Okay?
They're not gonna. The teachers are still going to demand... The teachers' unions are going to
it's not going to happen overnight. Like, obviously, if you let...
the teachers' unions aren't going to let it happen at all.
Not with that attitude.
They're not.
You're right.
These people are entrenched, especially in New York City, dude. These are the kinds of people. This is where John Stossel did a special about the teacher. I think it was Stossel that did this, about the teachers in New York who'd been assigned to the bad teachers room or whatever. And, they were doing bad things as a teacher. They weren't doing their job properly, but they couldn't be fired. So they actually had to be sent to essentially the equivalent of detention for teachers, where they could sit essentially and do nothing whatsoever and actually collect a paycheck, because that's how sweet their union contract was.
Okay. So, are you familiar with the martial art Aikido? It uses
I've heard of it.
It uses your opponent's weight against them. Now, it's largely garbage, but jiu-jitsu does incorporate, which is not garbage, does incorporate a theory called the customer is always right. So if somebody's pushing one way, you don't push against them, Ian.
Right.
You just let them go the direction they're going to go. Right now, every school in America shut down for 3 months.
Yep.
Right now,
and then they went to so-called distance learning, so the teachers were still doing their
but they're
teaching.
Not, well, hold on. They weren't. Many of those schools didn't have any criteria for a student to graduate or get get their. It's just take care of them while they're at home. Listen to them. These kind of things. I mean, the assignments aren't even necessarily being made and forced to be done. So
really, there's no assignments.
Well, there are assignments.
Sounds like nothing's changed there.
But there's no assignments, but it doesn't matter if you didn't do them in a lot of school districts. Now, I can't speak to every school district in America, but I'm telling you,
Sounds
in
like
Sarasota County, that's what happened. Okay.
So if you didn't do the assignment, you'd still pass the grade, is what you're saying?
Right. Everybody's just moving forward.
Great.
That's kind of like it's been anyway.
Well, there's some kids sometimes fail, and.
Well, that's not gonna result in lower budgets. I'm sorry, I don't believe for a moment the government's going to cut their size.
I'm not claiming it's going to happen in.
I know you're saying it's going to somehow take time, but I'm not sure there's any evidence for that.
If people keep on saying, "I'm sorry, I'm terrified of sending my kid back to school because they pass lots of things
we don't
around
care.
there,"
now we're going to have to buy the software so we can educate your children. Well,
there you go. You got to buy software.
Job.
You got to buy consultants. You got to buy all kinds of new costs. Now.
Raise the prices. Raise your taxes.
Oh yeah, no, we're going to go back to school now, Mark. We're going to have schools again. But we're going to do it with social distancing. So desks now need to be 6 feet apart from one another.
How is the teacher going to even talk to the back of the room?
We need to have 2 times the size of a school. So now they can build another school next to the first school, so they can move. So essentially classrooms will be half density, and so schools will be twice as large. They can hire twice as many teachers. This is going to be a boom.
So they can continue to deliberately dumb down America.
The toll-free number is 855.
And that's why I'll never win.
450 free. You will certainly not win in New York against the teachers' unions.
I'm not trying.
Get out of New York. 855, 450 free. If all the libertarians move to one place, we might have a chance. More coming up.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you, too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com, danpilla.com.
This is a pandemic survival alert and the most time-sensitive messages you will hear this year. You still have time to plant a 1-acre crisis garden and secure a supply of your own nutrient-dense food. But time is running out, and it's one deadline you don't want to miss. Who should plant a crisis garden? Individuals, families, churches, communities, anyone or any group that sees hard times ahead. Let's face it, even the mainline media is talking about food supply disruptions and the growing number of grocery store workers who are becoming sick. But there's more. Meat packing plants are closing, mile-long lines at food pantries, and more farmers now in financial trouble. The truth is, growing nutrient-dense vegetables this summer may be the single most important thing you do. Go to survivalseedbank.com and watch the new video to understand what we're really up against. Get free bonus seeds, special quarantine reports too. Don't wait, every minute counts. Go to survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com.
Houseflies defecate every 4 to 5 minutes, spreading diseases and germs. Protect your food and your health with Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic, no batteries required, only $39.95. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter. Get your Bug Assault today.
Are you about to meet the media? If you're about to be interviewed, do their homework for them. Know this about the person who will interview you. He or she is busy, so expect minimal, if any, preparation. He or she doesn't know as much about your topic as you do. He or she isn't as concerned as you are about getting your message out. So you need to take responsibility. Provide a biography and fact sheet, photographs, or other materials that tell your story. Reporters won't be put off if you supply frequently asked questions. Remember, Public Speaking 101, at the end of the speech, what's the one thing you want them to remember? You can download the document I supply to reporters who interview me and squirm through a video that demonstrates how not to conduct your media interview at www.survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You bring up what you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live brought to you by Divvy. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat currencies like the dollar right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new Divvy wallet launches, because of their relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at divvyproject.org, DIVI project.org. So we've been talking about the so-called reopening, which has been this tiered, phased-in plan that has been somewhat different in all the 50 states. Not all of the states went as far as some of them did in cracking down, so they don't have as far to go in undoing these things. But it doesn't look like...
Almost all of them are saying to businesses, okay, you can open now, and you can open this much, and these sorts of things.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, is they're allowing some businesses to reopen, but with restrictions in a lot of cases. Oh, yeah, you can reopen restaurants, but you can only have tables set 6 feet apart from one another. So basically, call that 50% or thereabouts of their capacity that they previously had.
What information is making them say to themselves, first of all, we know there are people get tyrannical whenever they get into government position. It's just kind of automatic.
Mm-hmm.
But what can they possibly be judging this on? What can they be using to say, all right, we have the right to control your business. We have the right to we have the power to control your business. You know, I guess it's threats, and you know they're going to come and send men with guns.
That's
take
what's
their money.
happened. It's happened here in Keene, little old Keene, New Hampshire, where men
and how
with
can
guns.
people not say that that's not martial law because it's here, it's in America?
Well, it's not martial law if it's not the military, apparently, right?
Well, I don't know about martial law or not.
I believe if you're talking to someone who believes that the police are now the standing army that the founders
they sure
warned
look
us
like
about.
it.
And act like
they're armed up.
We've been given this shovel full of compost that we call democracy for a long time.
Compost is being really nice.
Yeah. If
it's done.
Good soil.
Well, it's alliterative. The word I wanted to use was alliterative, but so it's a shovel full of compost.
Okay.
So you're forced to open up wide and accept the shovel full of compost over time, and we've been told, oh, democracy, this is how we make decisions. And I think that basically at a moment in time during this COVID thing, enough people, like a super majority of people, are like, yeah, we should take a couple of weeks and reassess. But what that did was created momentum in a direction. And that direction resulted in what we have, where just sort of people are accepting the things that are being told to them over time. I think we need to very clearly state to our politicians that y'all need to figure out what you're going to do in the next pandemic, because we're not doing this again.
I hope that you're right. I really hope that you're right about that, because you can look at, for instance, Aria saw the bar the other night packed full of people. You can look at the way people are responding to this in a lot of places. They want to be out with other people. They want to have life being normal again. But how many of those people are there? What is the actual percentage of people who are still hiding out in their homes, still, ordering food delivered to their homes, like going to the max on safety? What percentage of people is willing to leave their home but with a mask on and is keeping away from other people, versus the people who are just like, you know what, I want to live life normally? What percentage of people is like that? It's hard to get a feel for.
There's no way to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's just no way to tell.
You can sit there on Main Street and look at the people walking around, but that doesn't tell you who's still at home. So you really don't know.
The funny thing is there appears to be no nuance in people's minds. It's either this thing's a big hoax, or that you've got to stay home and never do anything. Don't come too close.
I won't go out on a limb and say that the virus is a hoax. I think it's a pretty weak-ass hoax. I mean, a weak-ass virus. But I can't help but look at all this stuff and think, what the hell just happened? It looks like what I would picture a psyop to be.
And it's incredibly successful, which is why...
Well, there's a good argument that it was, in fact, a Chinese psyop. So,
Isn't there another crackdown happening in China right now? Didn't I see headlines about that?
Yeah, it's going again.
Yeah. So, is that going to happen again here? If it's happening again in China, is it going to happen again here? I wish I could be optimistic, and I generally am, right? Like, I'm not completely depressed about this. I still think there's a chance for people who care about freedom to take this seriously and say, hey, hello, McFly. You need to do something now, okay? You just got locked down.
They're going to call for more government. That's it. You say that they're going to call for more government. That's what they do.
Well, the funny thing about this is that the CDC effed up early on.
Of course they did. They're the government.
The WHO, or the WHO, however you want to call
Basically the government as well.
And they're a bunch of self-important jerks. Yeah.
There's no particular reason why the government would mess up. I mean, the marketplace
It's the state. They screw everything up.
Nope, not true. They screw
really?
up.
What do they
have no responsibility for their behavior.
Okay.
Which means
what
that
do they not screw up, though? Seriously. Like everything they do is always over cost. It's over budget. It's really bloated. It's really inefficient. Like, what are they not screwing up?
I would not claim that anything that the state does right would still not be over budget, right? Would still not cost more. NASA put astronauts on the moon. It just cost 10 times what it cost.
Some say.
No, they didn't.
Fine. If that's where we're going with this, then there's no point in me finishing the conversation.
What were you going to say?
That's it. Like, they put astronauts on the moon. It just cost 10 times.
No, it was going to be about something about the CDC or whatever.
At this point, I don't know. The CDC messed up early on, and the WHO appeared to be in China's back pocket.
Did they mess up, or did they do it on purpose?
Yeah, that's
who? The CDC.
The CDC likely messed up, yeah.
You think they messed up as opposed to
Trump
doing it on purpose?
Cut out Obama's pandemic squad that he had put up in his administration, right? So they had so Trump gets rid of Bulwark 1, CDC, which this is a completely fair thing to think, right? Is that what do we need a pandemic squad for when the CDC is our pandemic squad? Why are we paying the CDC's salary when you're paying these people's salary too? It's a fair thing to think, but CDC effed up on this one, and they predicted things wrong because China was lying, and the WHO kept co-signing their BS.
You're going to blame it on China?
Yes. China's a government, you moron. Do you
I know
believe
what China
them?
is. You're saying the CDC followed the lead of China?
They're a government too.
Okay, and you're saying that was a mess up. That wasn't on purpose.
They're the people's government.
They were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the CDC wanted to kill a bunch of Americans?
I don't think they care.
Yeah, I don't think.
Well, I don't think they're responsible, but I do think they care.
How do you know? What's the evidence that government bureaucrats care about other people?
What evidence is there to the contrary? They have children. That's the evidence.
Well, their
they
children
have children. They're not. They don't have to care about your children. It's their children.
Their children will die if they go to school.
All
with
the
my
cops
kids.
that are crushing people's larynxes have kids too.
Different economic bracket.
Knees aren't a communicable disease.
I don't know why you're giving these government bureaucrats all this credit here tonight.
I don't know
you're
what
acting
credit
like
you're
they actually
talking
care about other people.
I'm just not a blithering idiot. That's all.
Okay. You just believe the government in some instances.
What are you talking about? Believe them? I said they were wrong and they screwed up. You're the one who's making the accusation that the.
But you believe
what it sounds like. Shut up for a second.
That they're going to try to help you.
No. I'm going to finish my statement. My statement is that you are acting like the Center for Disease Control of the United States actually wanted to kill thousands, tens of thousands of Americans. No, you were acting like that's exactly what you want. You asked me for proof that they weren't doing it.
I don't think I asked you for proof.
Yes, you did. You asked for evidence. What is the evidence that such? And I said they have children. That is a quote from what just occurred.
Well, no,
now,
that's
the
not
person that
what I
is
asked
reasonable in this conversation is not wearing a yellow shirt.
The one who is reasonable is anyone who doesn't believe the government. And if you believe that the government's out there to protect you, if you believe that the government's out there to keep you safe, or that you believe the government's out there and they care about you and the rest of the little people, I'm just going to say you haven't been paying attention over the last however many years.
Or you're living in dreamland.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Ridiculous.
I said they screwed up.
Right.
So
and by saying they screw up suggests that they were trying to do the right thing and they're trying to help people. And I don't know if there's any evidence for that. You cited the evidence is they have kids, but that's just...
I don't think any of these government agencies can even do anything remotely like caring for
They want more power, and they want more control, and they want bigger budgets, and yes, they have kids. A bunch of them have kids. And they've been acting the same way for generations.
Yeah, well, they may very well want bigger budgets and all these things, and they're very likely to get them with either failure or success.
That's correct.
Like failure or success, and they're going to continue to get bigger budgets. Because government agencies fail and succeed all of the time.
And if they come out with recommendations that result in more control over people, they have succeeded in what governments do, which is increasing their authoritarianism, increasing their control over our lives, and you should expect that from them, and you should expect them to screw up. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE if it wasn't something they wanted to do in the first place. 855-450-3733. And there are some theories that this whole thing was, like you said, a psyop that was engineered and all that.
By the Chinese.
More coming up in moments. This is Free Talk Live. Some people think it was the U.S.
About shaving irritation,
so that
Shave
Chinese
Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,728, silver at $17.61, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,524. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, before Bitcoin became the newest trend for Silicon Valley bros, it was a tool for hackers and revolutionaries who wanted to undermine the banking system. It appears that this original vision was not missed by the U.S. government. Activist Post reports the government has been developing plans to contend with a potential cryptocurrency rebellion. Documents obtained by The Intercept through a Freedom of Information Act request show that the U.S. Department of Defense has created a war game scenario in which a rebellion of Gen Z revolutionaries use cryptocurrency to undermine and evade the establishment. In one of the war games, the Pentagon prepared for hordes of Gen Z hackers who use cyber attacks to steal money and convert it to Bitcoin. The exercise happened 2 years ago in 2018, but it was set in the future year of 2025. In the scenario, Gen Z was involved in protests all over the world and waged a global cyber campaign to expose injustice and corruption and to support causes it deems beneficial. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Protesters in Australia who take part in demonstrations to support the Black Lives Matter movement will be facing fines up to $1,000. Activist Post reports demonstrations to support the movement for racial equality have spread all over the world in the past month. But the issue is especially fitting for Australia, where the country's indigenous population suffer massive injustices at the hands of the government. Protesters have also called for the release of refugees who were captured by immigration enforcers while attempting to enter the country. However, law enforcement officials deemed the event to be unauthorized and threatened attendees with fines up to $1,000. NSW Police Commissioner Nick Fuller said the gatherings were banned due to public health orders relating to the coronavirus pandemic. NSW Police Minister David Elliott said protesters can even be arrested for attending the demonstrations. A team of 85 Cuban doctors and nurses arrived in Peru on June 3rd to help the Andean nation tackle the coronavirus pandemic. Minpress News reports that same day, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced another tightening of the sanctions screws. This time, he targeted 7 Cuban entities, including Fincemex, one of the principal financial institutions handling remittances to the country. Also targeted was Marriott International, which was ordered to cease operations in Cuba, and other companies in the tourism sector, an industry that constitutes 10% of Cuba's GDP and has been devastated globally by the coronavirus pandemic. It seems that the more Cuba helps the world, the more it gets hammered by the Trump administration. While Cuba endured a U.S. embargo for nearly 60 years, Trump has revved up the stakes with a maximum pressure strategy that includes more than 90 economic measures placed against the nation since January 2019. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Well, it's the end of an era and the beginning of a new one.
Today, Pennington's black part of town moved across the river to North Pennington. The Thompson family sold their home on the east side and moved to the old Kirkland Place at 17 Mansfield Place, establishing the all-new black neighborhood. Northside residents are looking forward to the infusion of fun and funk that the new black part of town is sure to bring to their area. Mayor Mitzi Kranowitz presided over the dedication of the new black neighborhood, unveiling a sign designating it a landmark district.
It's lovely, everyone. Pennington's diversity is its strength, whether it's Little Harlem or the so-called Gayborhood, where Paul and his partner Bryant have that cottage.
Sheriff Stevens today announced that the heavy round-the-clock patrols that helped make the old Thompson house one of the safest neighborhoods in town will move with them.
This has nothing to do with the black part of town moving here. We just want to make sure that everyone here has a comfortable place to live.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You bring up anything you want here as we launch into the second hour of the program where you can take control of the airwaves. The toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Here with you tonight, it's Ian.
And Lumpy.
And Mark.
We're going to continue with more of your calls and thoughts. We've been discussing the so-called reopening, the difficulties that businesses have been facing, whether or not this is going to happen again. Some people are saying, oh, there's going to be a second wave, or it's going to come around again next year, and then they're going to shut down again. And
I don't see why it wouldn't. If I don't see
why
how
there wouldn't be a second wave or a resurgence.
I don't
later?
see how that could not happen. Mm-hmm. Either Corona is sort of fake, or it's coming back around.
But you don't believe that people are going to put up with what they put up with this time?
I don't think so. I think that people have probably come to the conclusion, just as my guess is that people who are ill should quarantine themselves. Mm-hmm. Or being quarantined. I mean, I don't think people are going to feel terrible about anybody who's sick with corona being told, hey, you've got to stay in this little place for 2 weeks or whatever the situation might be. However, like this whole idea of quarantining the whole population of healthy people doesn't make any sense.
But it did. They did it, and they got away with it. And
they kind of got away with it. It also shoved us into the first recession in a long time.
And maybe that's an argument that people will not put up with it next time. But all the evidence is people will do almost anything that they're told by a man in a lab coat and a government goon with a badge.
What people weren't told, what the information that scared people didn't have in mid-March of earlier this year is hey, you realize this is going to shove us into the worst recession that we've ever seen in this country, or possibly.
At least in our lifetime.
In our lifetimes, right? That it's going to make the Great Recession of the 2006 not so great anymore, or whatever it is, 2008.
I hope you're right. I really do. I mean, like I said, I'm generally an optimist. I still believe there's a chance for freedom in the future if libertarian types get together in the same geographic area. Then we could have a chance. But
that's
for the
been
most
going
part,
on for 14 years here in New Hampshire.
It needs to keep going on, and people need to keep moving. But for the most part, people will do what they're told, and they will do what they're told to their economic detriment, almost to the point where they lose their business, and to the point where they'll lose their business. We saw plenty of businesses go out of business because
we don't know if the businesses would have gone out of business.
We don't know. We don't get to compare realities.
Right. The one thing we don't get to do is put side by side.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people would have stayed in anyway?
Because I'll tell you this: there was one business here in Keene that had been open for 2.5 decades that went under. Now, some would say, well, maybe they just wanted to retire and their lease was up.
The newspaper is asking for donations. I've never seen that.
Yeah, every article you go on the newspaper has a donate link at the top.
I don't know what they're donating to the Associated Press. I mean, they don't have hardly any. They have no,
like what's left in the building.
I mean,
you mean?
Come on, there's
They've
nothing.
Got reporters.
No, they actually. There surprisingly were a lot of reporters in there. Just the last time I was there, like they're amazingly doing pretty well for a newspaper. Like they haven't had to stop their printing yet.
They're not a very good paper. They're like every other paper. They just take stuff off the AP.
Yeah, but they've been around for a long time. They probably own that building there.
The advantage that the if we're talking about Keene, New Hampshire, the advantage of the Keene Sentinel is that there's not a television station that's in town. Basically, if you want to advertise to people in Keene, New Hampshire, it gets a little difficult.
They have the Shopper News thing that comes around all over the place here, and that's even more. That's more well read than the newspaper here.
I want to go to Dan. He's on the line with us in New Jersey, listening on our Discord server. Apparently, Dan, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Hey, Ian. Hey, Mark. How are you guys doing?
Hey, Dan. We've also got Lumpy on the show with us tonight. Go ahead.
Hey, Lumpy. How you doing?
Howdy, Dan.
What's on your mind, Dan?
So the CDC is a private organization and is not and basically they're making a lot of money on this. So they've invested heavily in the vaccines. So now everyone's claiming.
How is it a private organization? They've got a .gov website address.
It's about as federal as the Federal Reserve is. And basically, so I was listening to the Ron Paul show, and he says that the CDC is not a government organization whatsoever.
Interesting.
What are those quasi? Yeah. So
I've never heard
they're
that.
set to make a ton of money from this.
So you're saying their incentives are screwed up?
Yeah, they're set to make a ton of money from this. They've heavily invested in the vaccine industries, Merck and other different companies. So
okay, so coming from the Wikipedia article here, not to say Ron Paul's wrong, I mean, he probably knows better than I do, but the Wikipedia article says the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is the leading national public health institute of the United States and is a United States federal agency under the Department of Health and Human Services and is headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. That part I knew.
Well, I'm just saying this is, I'm giving you my source. It's the Ron Paul Institute and his show. He's attacking the CDC every day.
What he's probably saying is that the people who are in the positions that are in these companies, in the CDC, are probably all hooked up with Big Pharma. They probably work for Big Pharma or have worked for Big Pharma. They are in deep there. They are looking at the market share that they're looking at. They're trying to control the market. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what he's saying, and he's also saying that if you look at diseases like tuberculosis, I think there's 80,000 people that are affected by that every year, but this year almost nobody's affected by it. There's other diseases like that. So what they're doing is they're saying those people are coronavirus.
Right.
Other diseases too, they're all coronavirus. So they're trying to scare everybody to get to the vaccine. And I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole where the vaccines are going, but there's a lot of money to be made in this.
The vaccine thing sounds like a whole bunch of BS to me anyway. And here's...
it's going to be...
Now, look, I'm a talk show host and not an epidemiologist, but I know that I know of 3 coronaviruses, okay? One of them is part of the names that we... this whole thing that we call the common cold. The other one is SARS, and the third one is COVID-19. Now, so we have some experience with SARS and we have some experience with the common cold. Where is the common cold vaccine? Where is the SARS vaccine? If you say that they can't make them or they don't have them or whatever, I would ask you why. And my answer would be because you can't make a vaccine for COVID-19. It may very well be, ladies and gentlemen, that COVID-19 is the new normal and that this is just how life looks. None of you were scared of the flu, which kills people. None of you were scared of all the other viruses that go around out there. And maybe this is just the way it is.
Just want to add this in here because I was looking up what Dan had said about what Ron Paul was saying, and I don't have what Ron Paul's actual quotes were, but from the CDC's own website at cdc.gov on the partners/partnering.html page, they do mention that there is an organization called the CDC Foundation. So there's the CDC, which is the Centers for Disease Control. That's a government agency, purportedly. And then the CDC Foundation, it actually says here that it was chartered by Congress, but it is not a government agency, nor is it a division of the CDC. It is a private nonprofit organization classified as a 501c3 public charity. And then the CDC Foundation, they say, helps the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention do more faster by forging effective partnerships between the CDC and others to fight threats to health and safety. So it sounds like there's 2 CDC organizations. One is the government bureaucracy. The other is this 501c3 charitable foundation that technically is separate, even though it was created by Congress. So it's a bunch of weasel words to essentially say that
similar to the
there's two
makes
hands
me
to
think
the
of the
organization.
Council on Foreign Relations. All these people who are in positions of influence in the
and they all know each
federal
other
government.
and so on and so forth. So this CDC Foundation probably can do certain things legally that a government agency cannot do, and so that's why they created it. So the answer is CDC may be both private and public, depending on which side of the organization you're looking at. But Dan, any other thoughts you want to share?
Well, the only other thing Ron said too is the WHO. Bill Gates gave them a $10 billion donation, and they're looking at doing the same thing with the massive vaccinations worldwide. He's set to make $200 billion on his $10 billion on that, and he's also basically the owner of the CDC. He basically funds the whole thing privately through his foundation with the Clintons.
Well, maybe they fund the foundation, or are you saying they actually give money to the CDC directly, the government agency? Because I suspect they're getting a lot of tax money as well, given they are a government agency. But thank you, Dan, for the call tonight. I appreciate it. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can join us on Free Talk Live. Anarcho Vegas 2020 is a conference about changing the world through personal actualization and creation through markets. Get inspired to better yourself and better the world. Speakers include Jim Bell, Larkin Rose, Avens O'Brien, G. Edward Griffin, Walter Block, Amanda Rockwitz, Ernie Hancock, and more. Get your tickets for just $20.20 at anarchovegas.com and use code FTL to save 10% off VIP tickets. July 19th, join Free Talk Live for anarchovegas.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit divvyproject.org. divvyproject.org.
I have two dogs, Sam and Bailey. Both are golden retrievers. Poor Sam, he was a mess. Always itching. His paws were soaking wet all day from just constant licking. He had bald spots on his back. I just don't like putting shots and steroids into your dog all the time. DINOVITE.com. Dinovite is nutrition. Probably 2 weeks after he started Dinovite, I started seeing great improvements, and today 99% of his issues are non-existent. It's amazing stuff. Since Bailey has been 12 weeks old, he's been a Dinovite dog, and he has zero issues today. He won't eat his food without Dinovite. When I get out the Dinovite, my dogs actually salivate, like I'm getting them a treat. They drool over it. Dinovite is the best thing you can do for your dog.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dinovite from DINOVITE.com.
Free Talk Live.
Hundreds of videos of people posting, the snow in Georgia isn't real because if you take it and you wad it into a snowball and you hold a lighter to it, it doesn't burn. And it leaves these charred black marks. And it's like, yeah, that's the way snow behaves everywhere because it's ice. And there's way more molecules in, a block ice than there is in a match.
Because size does matter.
Yeah, extremely. When it comes to temperature, absolutely.
Can't you cut the Southerners a break? I mean, they've never seen
No! If you think that there's a conspiracy out there to spray plastic snow across the
is that what they're saying?
entire state of Georgia and you think that the snow isn't real, you're a moron!
Wait, is that what they actually say in the video?
My friends and fellow patriots, it's a conspiracy. They're spraying chemtrail snow all over the state of Georgia.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You bring up anything you want. Take control of the airwaves here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. By the way, I want to say big thanks to Cam Cakes, who is a Free Talk Live
That's a funny name.
platinum amplifier. Cam Cake's contributing $25 a month to the Free Talk Live amp program. Now, we only ask for 5, so he's doing 5 times what we request. So, wow, really appreciate it. Or she, I don't know. Really appreciate that. And you can become an amplifier like Cam Cakes over at amp.freetalklive.com. It's amp.freetalklive.com. And that is where you can get behind what we do here and help us advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live so we can get on more radio stations and bring new internet listeners on board with the show to expose new people to the ideas of freedom. If that's something that you value, then we would love to have you as an amplifier, and you'll get some cool perks like Cam Cakes has done. So go to amp.freetalklive.com. You can use credit cards, you can use PayPal, you can even use Bitcoin BTC. Let's go to the phones, to the fun. Phoenix is on the line on our Discord server. Phoenix, do we have you?
Yes, you do.
Hey,
good evening, gentlemen.
What's on your mind tonight?
Hey.
So I wanted to tell you guys about my experiences over the last couple of weeks. I took a job carrying freight. I left Chicago went all the way down to Florida out to El Paso, Texas, Texas up to Albuquerque, New Mexico, back over to Georgia, and now I'm headed back up to Chicago.
Okay.
I stopped about every 300 miles to fuel, and just about every employee at the pilots that I'm stopping at, they've all got their masks on, but pretty much, let's say, like, of the individuals that are shopping, maybe like 15% of people are wearing masks anymore. Most of the employees, I'll if I feel like, it's kind of required, I'll pull out my mask and be like, do I really have to put this stupid thing on? They're like, no, don't even worry about it. So, like, I think the overall temperature of people that I'm noticing, and that's pretty much everywhere that I've been, is that they're pretty much over it. So whether or not this second wave kicks in again, I don't expect very many people to buy into it.
I think on some level,
hard evidence.
On an individual level, they're probably done with the inconvenience of having to, in this new formality that they have to deal
on
with.
an individual level, I think a lot of people didn't buy into it. That's why we saw massive protests at the Michigan State House, even there was California protests, believe it or not. There was New Hampshire. A bunch of state houses had hundreds and hundreds of people show up without masks on protesting. And in the case of New Hampshire, the police didn't even drive by. So there was almost zero enforcement of the governor's orders against the individual. But that's not what they were targeting. They were targeting the fulcrum, if you will. They're targeting this focus point where, which was the business owners, because the business owners,
the easy ones.
They've begged for a license in order to go into business.
They've got something to lose.
And so the government gang can go to them and say, if you don't do what we say, we're going to take away your license, and we're going to take away your so-called privilege to do business in the first place.
So why I don't ever want to get a license for anything.
Right. Many business owners may not have believed the hype. Many business owners may have been aware, as the gym owner that I talked about earlier, who quietly kept his gym open but papered over the windows because he knew his customers wanted to come in. But somebody snitched him out, and the police targeted him. The police targeted him. They targeted a local bar owner people were out on the bar owner's porch. The people were too close to one another, so some busybodies called the government on the bar owner, and the bar owner removed tables from the front porch. He shut down the front porch temporarily as well, and was not happy about doing it because he doesn't want to mandate that his customers do things that the customers don't want to do. So he might as well just close his doors entirely.
Was it a cop that that ratted him out, and they
No, it
said,
was
"Oh,
a
I can't get
competitor.
my out the back of the gym roids."
No, it was a well, we don't know about the gym, but it was a competitor who ratted out the bar owner in that particular case. So even if people don't want this, the owners of the businesses will still do what they're told to do. They're not going to behave like Carl Mankey, the barber from northern Michigan, the 77-year-old guy who literally has nothing left to lose. His kids are grown up.
The people that feed you, house you, and clothe you should be the one to decide that.
Decide what?
Well, whether they're going to want to do business with you or not. Whether they're going to want to come in.
Well, the individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be able to decide that for sure.
Yeah.
But that's not what we have. We don't have a situation.
They don't feed you, house you, and clothe you. They just take from you.
The government. Yeah. Phoenix, other comments?
Ian, I think ultimately you might be right. As far as like when it comes to the business owners standing up and saying no, we're not going to comply. I don't like. I'd say maybe 5-10%. Chance of a massive movement happening. But that's really what it's going to take for this.
The only reason why business owners would stand up ultimately wasn't based out of some sort of principle. It was for the most part based on, well, I'm going to go out of business, so I might as well. That was what some of them came to. And that's, a reasonable conclusion to come to. Like,
Henry Ford says the fear of loss is a greater motivator than the opportunity to gain.
I could do the right thing from the beginning, but no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to close down. Okay, now it's starting to hurt. Okay, it's hurting a lot more now. All right, now I can't pay my rent. All right, it's bad. All right, well, I'm going to go out of business if I keep this going, so I might as well go ahead and risk it and open the doors and fight whatever comes, because otherwise I'm going to go out of business anyway, so I really have nothing left to lose. This old guy in Michigan, he was heroic, but he's 77. He doesn't have any kids left at home. His kids are grown up. They've got kids of their own now. They've moved out. He doesn't have mouths to feed. He doesn't have to worry about anything else. He's going to die soon.
He has to worry about him being a provider. Is just that, probably for 77 years. I mean, he's been doing something like this. I'm sure, how long has he been cutting hair? I don't know, probably a long time.
His lifetime, yeah.
So now all of a sudden you get someone that's going to come in and tell you can't provide for yourself or your
right,
or live however you want to live.
But if he's only providing for himself. If he's only doing this business because he wants something to do while he would otherwise be retired, then he has nothing to lose. It doesn't matter to him if the police come in and swoop in and shut down his shop, because there's no one who's really counting on him besides his customers. So he's in a unique position compared to many business owners who are still in their 40s or 50s or whatever. They still got kids at home. They've still, they're paying the bills. They're taking care of responsibilities in a different way. So those people they're not going to do what it takes until their back is completely up against the wall and they are about ready to lose absolutely everything. It's only at that time that a business owner will actually be like, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and reopen my doors anyway. They're not going to take that risk. I wish we had courageous business owners in that way, but I'm not saying they're not courageous. They are. They put their money on the line. They took serious risks running their business, right? But they don't want to go up against the state.
That's not the risk that they were looking for.
Yeah,
was
they
to
didn't
fight
get into
the
it for
state.
that. Right. They didn't do that, and so I don't think that's going to change next time.
I think
wish
they're
it
also
did.
afraid of being judged by everybody else, as whatever
their social pressures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that horizontal discipline works. So.
Yeah.
I got to get going,
Thanks
guys.
for the call, man. I appreciate it, Phoenix.
Night,
appreciate hearing from you. Yeah, he called it horizontal discipline. I know I've not heard that before, but that's an interesting way to put it. Instead of vertical, which would be the government goons on top pushing you down, these would be the people who are your customers.
It's the old story about the monkeys and the ladder and the bananas. If you're familiar with the bananas are hung from the ceiling of the monkey cage. Right. The ladder's put up, and every time a monkey attempts to go up the ladder, they squirt all the monkeys with some water hose thing, and then pretty soon when a monkey starts going up, the other monkeys will beat up the monkey and stop him from doing it.
Sound like humans.
Then at some point they stop using the fire hose, and nobody.
But the enforcement continues.
They switch out the monkeys, and they one at a time, and they still continue to enforce it because no one knows why.
That's right. That's right. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. You can make your predictions. It's Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com. Anarcho Vegas 2020 is a conference about changing the world through personal actualization and creation through markets. Get inspired to better yourself and better the world. Speakers include Jim Bell, Larkin Rose, Avins O'Brien, G. Edward Griffin, Walter Block, Amanda Rockwitz, Ernie Hancock, and more. Get your tickets for just $20.20 at anarchovegas.com and use code FTL to save 10% off VIP tickets. July 19th, join Free Talk Live for anarchovegas.com.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Yep, it's Free Talk Live. Toll-free number inviting you to join us here. You can bring up whatever's on your mind. The number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. I want to make sure you know about Bitcoin.com. They've got some great features over there, including just something to get you started into the world of cryptocurrency, an introduction into the world of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash over at Bitcoin.com. That's one of the things you can get. They've also got a great news site for people that want to get the latest headlines on the world of crypto. Go to news.bitcoin.com. You can find that there. Or maybe you want to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash with dozens of payment methods. You can do that at local.bitcoin.com. That's local.bitcoin.com. Plus, they'll even sell you Bitcoin Cash and I think Bitcoin for debit card payments or credit card. They've got some options over there for you at bitcoin.com. As we continue, we've been speculating on, are Americans going to put up with this again? Are they going to put up with the same
crackdown, the same lockdowns, or worse lockdowns? Or will they finally say no more of this and say, we're going to just open up our businesses anyway, we're going to make the decisions, we're not going to be told what to do anymore? I don't think there's any evidence whatsoever that they're going to behave in that way. The evidence is that they're going to do everything that they're told to do, as long as they, I mean, maybe they'll try to skirt some of the rules if they think they can get away with it, but I didn't see a whole lot of rule skirting around here. Did you?
No.
Nope.
I tend to think government education is kind of at fault for this, because now you have a bunch of people who are compliant. Government education teaches it's the one size fits all. Get a job, go work for somebody else, just squander all your own abilities and your own beneficial, your own rewarding valuable characteristics, what have you, talents.
Yeah, you could have done much more if you hadn't worked for somebody else your whole life, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm not the wealthiest guy in the world by far, but I'm wealthy because I love everything I do. I do it because I love to do it.
You get to make the choice.
I get to make the choice, right.
You don't have to answer to anybody else,
right,
except your customers.
Right.
Well, I mean, like most, I'm not going to, a lot of businesses go out of business, and that is not particularly good for your wallet. People.
As the business owner or the employee?
As
what do you
the
mean?
business owner.
Okay.
Obviously. I'm not going to say that I think that working for yourself is necessarily right for everyone. You've got to have a certain
think that's what I said.
Risk tolerance.
I
think what you said
but
was
what he was saying is that the government takes that out of people.
Right.
The government schools.
It makes people get jobs, and it makes them think in this hierarchical system that says that you listen to a boss, and this is essentially it's almost like a slave mentality.
The government schools discourage risk taking. Yeah. The government schools want you to have a job. They want you to be dependent on corporate America. They want you to be a worker drone. That's what the whole Prussian school system, which is the model under which the government schools run, that's what it was designed to do. And it has done that very well. It has turned out generations of worker drones.
Well, we don't know, again, whether, they say Montessori education is more likely to turn out an entrepreneur than other forms of education, and Montessori is more like unschooling than anything else. So, there might be some evidence in your favor on this particular claim. Yeah. I don't know.
Check out John Taylor Gatto. He's done a lot of research on that.
Most of the people who have started their own business likely went to government school, because most people went to government school.
And all the people that have early childhood development degrees, where did they get those?
Presumably college, right? It's a government school.
Mark, of course, within any given set of people who went to the government school, there are still going to be those who have the entrepreneurial spirit and haven't had it crushed completely out of them. But that is what the system is designed to do. It is designed to crush the entrepreneurial spirit. It is designed to tell kids, don't take a risk, don't take a chance, don't get out there and do your own thing. Just go get a job and work real hard and pay your taxes. It's in the curriculum, basically. I can't explain to you exactly how it is, but if you go look up John Taylor Gatto, he was the New York Teacher of the Year or something like that in the past. I think he passed away a few years ago. He was in his 80s when he finally died, but he's done a lot of research on the so-called Prussian school system. It's all about obedience training, essentially. From when you're in elementary school, it's like, oh, well, make sure you don't speak when the lights get turned off. Oh, there's
for like nap time?
Well, when I was in school, they would turn the lights off at the cafeteria if they wanted everyone to be quiet.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Right?
Yeah. I think I've seen that sort of thing. On the bus, they would do something similar.
So they have these techniques that they use to inculcate obedience in the students.
You're chewing gum in your class. Have you brought enough for everybody in the classroom?
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's the hierarchical method that they use in the schools. So it trains kids that this is normal. This is the way things are. This is the
And I think
world.
if you have enough kids in a given classroom, you have to have systems for control, whatever those systems might be. I don't know that that's necessarily the best thing in the world for a kid's entrepreneurial spirit. I don't know what the best thing in the world for a kid's entrepreneurial spirit is I just want to make sure
not to have it squashed.
If you're making a claim, that there's something to the claim.
I'll give you more. So teachers are not entrepreneurs generally, right?
They're people who, frankly, they participate in a socialized system.
Oh yeah,
right. These are people who, there are some exceptions where they might have a business owner come in and give a special class at a college or something. So there are some exceptions to this rule.
The old statement is those that can't do teach.
Right. And so while there may be some exceptions to this, the general rule is, especially if you're a government high school or middle school or elementary school teacher, the odds are you're not moonlighting as an entrepreneur. Odds are that's your job. that's what you do.
You're falling into line.
And so that mentality of this is life, this is how I live my life, this is what my kids should do, this is what my students should do, that is going to be communicated in some way, shape, or form to people.
They only get a certain kind of personality to do the job of a school teacher.
Yes.
These are people who are very establishment, who will follow everything that they tell them to, who will follow the rules. I mean, look what happens to the very few that decide to buck the system. They're out. They're gone right away.
And they're trained to you're exactly right. They're trained to do these things, and so they have an influence over the kids that they're teaching.
Believe everything they're told, and then if they're believing everything they're told, the social proof's going to dictate that these kids are watching their teachers as the example.
Right, and they tell them, do what you're told, follow the rules. You got to do things the right way, right? And so the right way, and I'm putting air quotes around that, is the obedient way, which means you want to start your own business? Well, you've got to go down and talk to the government.
That's polite, Jimmy.
You have to go and talk to the government health department. You have to go and talk to the permitting department.
In a lot of cases, if you open up your own business, there's probably half of these things that people go through and get these licenses that they didn't have to do in the first place.
They might not have had to.
I mean, Free Talk Live's never had an occupation or never had a business license or anything like that.
In Keene, New Hampshire, you don't need one to run a business from your home. So it's a little more free in New Hampshire in a lot of ways. The only time they'll come down, and you have actually looked into the city ordinances about this.
I'm sure you have.
But
we didn't. We never went.
We never
looked.
checked. Yeah, we never checked. Never asked permission.
Good.
Only if you've got a high amount of traffic coming to your home-based business will they then take issue with it. But
I'd like to talk about the people who are parked in my parking space today.
You don't own a parking space here. So there's different levels to this indoctrination that goes on in the government schools. But the reality of it is it results in people not being an entrepreneur. If they have the idea, the flame, the spark of entrepreneurship in their mind, then if it wasn't crushed by the government indoctrination system, it will be crushed by their first experience in trying to actually open a business. Because then they will be overwhelmed at how difficult it can be, all the
so all the other businesses that existed, believe me, they do not want another business in competition with them. And they're the ones, in large part, who wrote the rules. I would like to say this. I did take an entrepreneurship class.
Really? Where?
In high school.
What do they teach you?
I don't know. I don't remember a thing about it, but it was taught by one of the shop teachers.
Okay.
I mean, why the shop teacher? Because all the other teachers are probably busy.
I mean, it's been a long time, right? So, do you know if it was they taught you to go and get a license?
They had a fashion class taught by a guy who, by a heterosexual white guy in his 50s who wore polyester pants.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, there was no qualifications to be had for any of these classes.
He's probably the guy responsible for Hillary Clinton's pantsuits.
I don't know.
So if you want to comment, and maybe you can remember, maybe you took this entrepreneurship class and you remember what it contained, because I suspect it's make sure you get an accountant, make sure you do your taxes, make sure you get a license,
read the rules.
I bet you that's what it was. Here's how you do all A, B, and C. Follow all the rules. Do everything the government tells you, and you'll be a success.
No, I don't think it was that. I think it was it was a workbook on entrepreneurship.
855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. I would be shocked if your workbook did not have as step 1, make sure you get your license before you open the business. You want to do it the right way, or else the gang with guns will come and shut you down.
Be a good
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Introducing Reveal from GCNLife.com. Beverly Hills dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman invented Reveal, which contains polypeptides with natural botanicals and no parabens, sulfates, silicones, or dyes for a salon-quality hair growth product. Reveal. Here's Dr. Newman.
I've treated a lot of patients who lose their hair and they lose their confidence. We've created a unique set of polypeptides, which we call HPT6. The HPT6 contains the polypeptides from 6 different plants. The scalp infusion treatment should be used on wet or dry scalp. The Reveal hair care system is designed to be used for men and women alike.
Get Reveal at GCNLife.com with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So try Reveal today at GCNLife.com or 844-443-6637. Plus a discount up to 25% off for Reveal at GCNLife.com or 844-443-6637.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-900-8407. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-900-8407. That's 1-800-900-8407. 1-800-900-8407.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You bring up what you want here. Take control of the airwaves. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. They're over at discord.lrn.fm. And in the studio with you tonight, you've got Ian.
And Lumpy.
And Mark.
All right, so you can take control of the airwaves, bring up whatever's on your mind. We've just generally been talking about this so-called reopening and various different aspects of what's going to happen in the future if or when the government gang tries another crackdown, another so-called lockdown based on whether it be another Corona 20, or COVID-20, or some other malady that they want people to be afraid of. Which direction are people going to go when they're told what to do? And I think the evidence is they're just going to do what they're told.
I'm going to resist.
Well, I am too, and I have been the entire time. Here in Keene, we've had nightcaps every Friday night ever since the governor's lockdown order began, just specifically to violate the lockdown order. We've had protests in front of the state capitol building, protests in various other places. And the individuals haven't had a problem for the most part. There were some parents that were threatened in a Concord Park one day, and they recorded video and ended up scaring away the police by coughing at them, which was pretty entertaining stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was heroic.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
I saw the article online. There's a lot of backlash from people, too, in the comment section.
Backlash against?
Against the people who were doing this.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was that horizontal enforcement that was mentioned earlier, right? That's the average person pressuring socially
do you remember
other people.
The kids that were like early on in this? There were some kids in like South Beach enjoying their spring break or whatever.
They were trying to, and then the crackdown came.
And then the crackdown came, and some of the kids are like, hey, it's spring break. We're going to have a good time. Come what may. YOLO, right?
Yeah.
You only live once.
Yeah.
And like the nation came down on them like a ton of bricks.
The nation?
Wham! Well, I'm sorry. Enough people that the reporters are doing stories on how bad these kids are. Finally, one of these kids comes up and's like, "I'm really sorry. I was really wrong to say that I wanted to have a good time.
Partying on the beach could kill my grandparents."
Right, and at the time there wouldn't even we didn't even know like exactly who's going to die from this or whatever. So it's just like, it was irresponsible behavior and I'm terribly sorry. And it turns out that this is, a disease that likely he wasn't going to die from if he got it anyway. Plus he was outside.
Well, the fear is that they're going to be around their grandparents and then infect them.
He was outside, which at this point, what we're seeing is that it's unlikely. I have yet to find the person that was infected outside.
Well, how would you know whether you got infected outside or not?
Well, they're tracking people now.
We have contact tracers.
That's right.
Dun, 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 dun.
There are people right now in Florida. They've got this. They're holding up the next pariah. They've got this young gal who's like, I can't believe, like she was a nurse or something. I can't believe I went to a nightclub and now 14 people have it. Now they're not sick or anything. They just have it, right? And because this is what they have to go to now. They don't have bodies to drag out in front of you nearly as much as they did before, and she's got to be really sorry or whatever. But it's all going on inside, and it seems like nightclubs seem to be the place that it occurs, and I don't know why.
I don't either.
All kinds of things happen at nightclubs.
Well, they do.
Let's go to Jason in Colorado. You're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead, Jason.
Hey, gentlemen, no would you rather question tonight. I want to talk about shop teachers.
Okay.
The subject that came up. I grew up in California I went to high school in the 80s, and I had a very interesting shop teacher experience. I went to auto shop because I had a car that I got from an uncle that didn't run. So basically I took shop class to prepare my car just to run and to do all that stuff. But I had this shop teacher, and the first day we sat into the class, shop class is not known exactly for the highest academic students. So I was surrounded by all the guys that might eventually become mechanics. But this teacher said, how does an engine work? And we all kind of looked around puzzled. And the answer to the question was suck, squeeze, bang, blow.
That's right.
You won't find guys.
That's how I work too.
You'll probably get fired for saying that nowadays.
Yeah. Especially if there's a girl in the class.
Oh yeah. I mean,
apparently you're claiming that women don't understand how combustion engines work, because this is accurate.
I know some that know better than me how they work.
So shop class consisted of smoking pot in the parking lot for about 2 hours.
Sweet.
Yeah, that was my shop class.
Chevy Monte Carlo to drag race it on the weekends, and we used to do Evel Knievel jumps of people's cars that asked for oil changes into the parking lot. So.
Oh wow. What? That's awesome.
Definitely a different time. I remember this guy came over to me, the shop teacher, when I had my car up on the lift, and I was using a gas plasma cutter to cut the gas tank out from the things that hold it in there, and he just calmly walked over.
No.
No. Really it's not safe at all.
That's the point of the story, kids.
He walked over. He looked underneath the lift and said, I wouldn't do that, and just kind of walked off, like to let me decide.
Well,
you just don't do it. You don't get that.
He was walking because he didn't want to look uncool by running.
Right. It's always cool when you walk away from the explosion, right? Like in the movies.
Boom.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Hey, thanks, Jason, for sharing that story tonight with us, man. I appreciate it. Good one. 855-450-FREE. Well,
any stories about shop class are good stories.
Yeah, feel free to call in and share yours. Catherine Doherty reporting over at Bloomberg, the 24-Hour Fitness Corporation, they're called 24-Hour Fitness Worldwide Incorporated, has now sought court protection from its creditors, unable to keep up with debt payments after the COVID-19 pandemic shutdown affected gyms nationwide. The fitness chain's Chapter 11 petition was filed in Delaware. According to court papers, such restructuring allows the company to continue operating while they work out a plan to pay their creditors and ease their debt load of $1.4 billion for a gym chain, plus lease obligations. 24-hour lined up $250 million in so-called debtor-in-possession financing, backed by its creditors as they begin reopening locations across the country. The majority of its gyms, however, remain closed to try to stop the spread of the virus. The company isn't charging members amid the shutdowns, taking its revenue down close to zero.
Right. Well, I mean, you got to really think what it's like for gyms and these sorts of places right now, because, I mean, I think now they're opening up in New Hampshire and probably some other places they've been opening up. I know Saipan Gym opened up some time ago. But think about what it's like for a jiu-jitsu studio. Now,
where you got to touch people.
I'm a part owner of a jiu-jitsu studio, and I mean, we can't do nothing. Who wants to go and roll around with another sweaty dude on a mat? And
well, some people do, I would think. It seems like plenty of people want to do normal things again.
I don't get turned down all that often, just saying.
You're saying there aren't enough people that are interested to where even a class can be held?
Well, at this point, we're not allowed to open.
Oh, really? So the governor hasn't allowed sporting facilities that involve contact to reopen? Is that the idea?
Unless it was Monday and I didn't get told. Now, I'm a part owner, and by that I mean, like, it's such a small percentage that no one would tell me.
You wouldn't be able to go in and just throw the doors open on your own and say, all right, we're back.
I don't have a key.
Yeah, okay. Have you talked to the actual owners about that, and what do they say?
He says, hopefully we'll be able to open soon.
Right, so
statement.
He's totally obedient, going to do everything the government tells him.
Well, what else is he going to do?
Could open his business.
He could.
He could open his business and act like a free person and say to his customers, hey, you know what the risks are. If you want to come here and roll around with people and do jiu-jitsu, then we're going to ask that you sign this disclaimer or sign a waiver showing that you are consenting to rolling around with people, which obvious because they're doing it, but go ahead and get your legal bases covered and get somebody to sign a piece of paper. Hey, we welcome you back. Just understand you're here at your own risk. Okay,
that's what
fine.
every business should have outside for a sign. Enter at your own risk.
And then if the government goons show up because somebody called them and somebody snitched you guys out, then you file a lawsuit and you go to court about it. Now, what else can you do? You can just do what you're told, and that's
one
what
of the things that might be a concern for him is he's a new father, and he may not want to bring home a potential COVID-19 infection to his 1-year-old, less than 1-year-old. So,
yeah, that's where they get you.
I'm sorry, they're not out there.
That's where they get you.
They're not. They're not your little minions, and they're not going to act the way you want them to act. I mean, that's just how the world is.
That's why we are not going to have business freedom, because business owners are not concerned with it.
Most people didn't get into business to have business freedom. They got into business to make money.
Good luck paying the rent if you can't open your doors.
Yeah, it's true.
You're not going to be making any money. And these business owners, these gym owners, are trying to, let their customers come back in, but they're apparently not charging. Just because
how are these people making it?
They're not. They're they've got 1.4.
How are they eating?
I don't know. I have no idea. They must have some savings personally, because the business is in a debt load of $1.4 billion in this case.
Right. So there's PPP loans and all kinds of ways that you can get money from the government right now.
Okay. So you're saying they're on welfare?
Who's they?
Well,
all
the people
the
we were just talking about.
Just businesses generally. I don't know what the specific circumstance is for everybody out there.
It's a shame that they're pushing people into welfare.
Yep, that's it's going to be hard to get off of it too if you're going to, your business
hard
closes
to compete
down.
With nothing.
While you're on welfare, you can feed yourself, but now your business closed down. Now you're back to being in the job world. Hour 3's coming up.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now's your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,729, silver at $17.71, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,461. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, when it comes to fighting COVID-19, mass testing, effective contact tracing, and wearing face masks in public are all claimed to be effective at curbing the disease's spread. Technological solutions are still being developed across much of the world, and Germany has just rolled out its new Corona Warning app. Reuters reports the app, now available for Apple and Android devices, uses Bluetooth short-range radio to measure close contacts between people and issues a warning should one of them later test positive for COVID-19. But, as Statista's Neil McCarthy notes, even though experts have praised the app, the public is divided about using it for privacy reasons. Activist Post reports that in April, 47% of the German public said they would use such an app, but that fell to 42% by June. According to polling data, 46% currently say they would not use the app. That's an increase on the 42% saying they would not use it back in April. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines. 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Kenta Settles, a 28-year-old father of 3 who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, PTSD, and ADHD, had committed no crime earlier this year when he was approached and subsequently assaulted and arrested by several officers with the Garfield Heights Police Department. Because prosecutors chose to never watch the body camera footage to find out what actually happened, Settles spent 5 months of his life locked in a cage on trumped-up charges. Settles, represented by Jeremy Torr, has since filed a lawsuit against the city of Garfield Heights and the Garfield Heights Police Department, alleging false arrest, violation of constitutional rights, and excessive force for the stop which took place on January 23rd. However, charges were dropped last week after prosecutors watched the video. The Free Thought Project reports Settles was finally freed after spending months away from his children, all because the cops who approached him that night had no idea how to actually investigate an alleged crime, and instead resorted to immediate escalation of force. Journalist and photographer Linda Tirado was standing near a police line in Minneapolis on May 29th, covering the George Floyd protests engulfing the city. All of a sudden, her face, in her own words, exploded. She had been shot from close range in the eye, permanently blinding her. MinPress News reports the police had shot her. Protesters pulled her away from her attackers, put her into a vehicle, and drove her to the hospital, where they were unable to save her eye, but were able to give her a $58,000 bill, likely the first of many. Now, in a wide-ranging interview with writer Luke O'Neill, she spoke out about the ordeal. In the interview, Tirado revealed that her first reaction to receiving the enormous bill, initially slated to be $2,900 per month, was to laugh. Tirado is a freelance journalist, supported by readers through Patreon. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A new medical study on the effects of marijuana use confirms that everyone knows you're high and that you'll never stop feeling like this.
Everyone can smell the marijuana on your breath and on your clothes. Everyone is laughing at you.
Additionally, the in-depth report reveals that despite trying to act cool, you're definitely laughing too much and everyone is messing with you.
Your parents know you're high. Your friends know you're high. Strangers on the street know you're high. If you're young and you smoke marijuana, you will probably never be able to find a job. And if you're an adult, you will most likely be fired. If you hear a noise, that's probably the police, and you're probably going to jail.
While previous studies suggested that it's all good and that we're all made of the same stuff that makes stars, new research indicates that your brain got broken and you shouldn't have done this. Doctors say the study raises important questions such as, what if that wasn't just marijuana, and how are you going to get home?
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here, and we're launching into the third hour of the program. Your comments on the so-called reopening. Where is it? What's it like where you are? How bad did it get? Has it gotten a little bit better? Has it gotten a lot better? Give us a clue, because
Call in.
Yeah, I only
give us
know,
the report.
Right, I only know what's going on around me, and I know that the local movie theater here is expected to reopen on July 1st, and I don't think there are any actual movies that are coming out because, well, Hollywood isn't coming out with movies yet.
Right.
And so what they're doing, and I think this is interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see how it works out for them. It may be the last gasp. It may be what keeps them alive. But they're actually going to be showing some classics. They got like Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, the original Batman, and it's like some of the they're bringing in Harry Potters because people love Harry Potter, but they're bringing in some older films, and they're going to show those. And I don't know how many screenings they're going to have. I don't know if you just get to go see it one time, or if it's going to run Back to the Future, for a whole week. I don't know, but it's an interesting
I hear
approach.
prices at the theaters are going to go up because everybody has to be in their own bubble. Right?
Oh, yeah. I've heard that that's one of the restrictions. I don't know if that's going to apply after July 1st. Maybe that's why they're waiting till July 1st. I don't know. But yeah, in some places you won't be allowed to sit near people if you're in the movie theater, which means a 250-seat movie theater might only be able to seat 50 people. So are they going to be able to stay in business with that? Because what they need to do is lower the prices. If you're going to show classic movies, you can't get away with charging $15 a head for that, can you?
I wonder how some movie theaters are still staying in business when I've gone to them.
Because they're so empty when you go?
They're so empty when I go.
Yeah, it's hard to... This may be, like I said, this may be the last time you get to go see a movie. If the business continues to go under. I mean, some people are saying AMC Theaters is going to go under, because they have had absolutely no revenue whatsoever for the last 2 or 3 months as a massive theater chain. So can they come back from this? And will we see a lot of theaters doing this, where they're showing something, just putting something on a screen, throwing some classic movies up there, or oldies, whatever you want to call them, right? 1980s, that's oldies, and as far as songs are going, so it must be oldies for movies. But I'd be willing to go and see Back to the Future, and then I think they're going to show
part 2 and then part 3, so they're going to show all of them. I'd be willing to go see Back to the Future if it was $5. Yeah, I'd go do that. I might go see the second one for another $5.
Yeah, I would probably do it for that rate.
But if it was $15, I'm not going to go see, more than one movie.
If we were talking about something like, say, Aliens or something like that, where you could get me in to see the movie, I'd either want a low price or I'd want a really great sound system and a really great experience.
Yeah.
You got to do something for me to get me in the theater to see an older movie.
I want vibrating chairs. That's my vote.
It's fine.
That's going to cost a lot of money.
Magic
too.
fingers.
I just put a quarter right in it, right? Just right there.
I think they do have some fancier theaters that are out there.
Yeah, there's one over
like
in the other side of the state here at Nashua, I think. Chunky's or
That's
something
where
like
they
that.
got
I've
food,
never
right?
been there.
They got food.
Dale, an old co-host of the show, used to go there. Yeah, they serve you dinner and everything.
I've heard it's nice. I've not been there myself.
Well, maybe there'll be maybe this is an opening for maybe there's a demand for private theaters. Maybe some people will start opening private theaters in their houses. Where
That's been happening, and that's why people don't go to movie theaters as often, because getting a 50 or 60-inch screen in your home doesn't cost that much anymore. You can go down to Walmart and get a 50-inch screen for $300.
Some surround sound and and make your walls shake.
Right.
Sure.
So,
I mean, I think I remember seeing a 65-inch television for $500
at Walmart or wherever.
Well, one of those places. I don't know.
So that's what's been driving people away from theaters, is the home experience has been getting better and better and more affordable over time. You don't have to drop $100,000.
And psychedelics are cheaper too.
Well, that
I
helps.
Think. Yeah, that helps.
I remember declaring movies dead prior to the what was the movie with the blue people?
Avatar.
And then I went and saw Avatar, and I'm like, wow, this is really great. They really did an excellent job with this 3D thing. And I saw it in the IMAX theater, and I'm like, yeah. I think that James Cameron saved movies for whatever. And
for a decade.
And then, the Marvel movies came out and people wanted to see them ahead of time or whatever. But now the COVID came, they stopped Black Widow in its tracks. I was waiting on it for...
Wait, so did it come out? Or
it did not.
Okay, so is it complete, but they just haven't released it?
It's complete, and they have not released it. It's supposed to come out in November, and I'll go see it however it is to go places. But I think a lot of people have kind of been stopped from the movie thing, and it's hard to restart as opposed to just keep things going. So this may have killed the movie business.
Theater. That's what I'm saying. Like, this could be your last chance.
Yeah.
Like, when these theaters reopen again, who knows how long they're going to stay open after this. But if they can create...
See you later, alligator.
Well, and that's the thing. They got to create that habit again. They have to create the habit in people of going to a place to see a presentation at a specific time, which is completely different than the new habits that are being created. The new way...
Stay at home, be weak.
The new way is to stay at home, where, I mean, it's not like you're being strong by going and sitting in a seat in a movie theater, but
they're at least walking.
Well, from the car.
Yes. Okay.
But anyway, they got to create that new habit with people of the old habit of going out and doing anything, because now they're competing with the convenience of just being able to pull something up online at a moment's notice. You don't have to wait for a specific start time. You don't have to wait till people shut up in the theater.
And let's not forget that the movie producing companies, they don't want the movie theater middleman experience either, because they're giving up 50% of the cost of the ticket or whatever. They can send it to right out there for you to watch at $20 or $25 or whatever, even early. You see it the first week for $30, and then you can sit however many people you want in there. And maybe it's cheaper than taking your family to the movie, but they get every penny.
Almost.
So
they still share with the site.
Nobody wants them to get. Nobody wants movie theaters to make it.
You're saying the people in the industry, the movie makers, don't care if the theaters make it.
The popcorn people can make it without the movie theaters. The chair manufacturers can make it without the movie theaters.
Right.
Maybe the
candy will be fine.
What else can movie theaters do to keep going, though? I mean, they need to bring in another source of income other than
what else can they do?
Strippers, cheesy candy. Wow. Yeah, but I mean,
they got nothing.
You could have community arts. That's one thing you could do. If you had the kind of stage and the facilities for it, maybe they could bring in some local acting.
That's the other thing. There was a news story about what do you do with a closed movie theater. As far as the building itself, there's not a whole lot you can do with that kind of those big rooms with the ramp style.
Right, there's no way in the world you're going to get 6, and 6 is a small theater these days. 6 people doing a presentation at the same time. I mean, it just can't happen.
Right.
So, I mean, 6 community productions of My Fair Lady, Oklahoma, No Nanette, or whatever. I can't remember what the one was. The Pseudolus was. What happened on the way to the Forum. Funny thing happened on the way to the Forum. And whatever the musicals might be that they put together.
Ultra high ceilings.
Couldn't happen.
There's not a whole lot you can do with a space like that.
Right. With a movie theater, it's possible to make it happen. You got one pimply-faced kid, running a projector, probably running 6 projectors.
Yeah, they run as
lean
as possible.
3
they pay
people
minimum
on site,
wage.
tops.
Yeah, they pay minimum wage. There's maybe a manager, there's a kid, and maybe another one.
I don't think movie theaters have been making money for a long time.
There's a manager, a kid doing something, and the teenage girl the manager's trying to talk to.
Sounds
right. That's about it. That's about the picture I see.
Or at least that's how it was at the movie theater that my friend worked at in high school.
It probably hasn't changed that much. So 24-hour, to go back to what's going on with gyms, again, large buildings with lots of people in them. Well, now when they say here at Bloomberg, while some gyms start to reopen, it's no guarantee members will come flocking back, and cancellations could be even more devastating. It costs twice as much to recruit a new member as it does to retain an existing one.
Sure.
Roughly 28 out of 100 U.S. gym goers are expected to bail out this year, according to trade group International Health Racquet and Sports Club Association. Even before the onslaught of COVID-19, middle-tier operators like 24-hour gyms struggled with customer defections to higher and or budget-friendly fitness options. The gym operator posted a 2% revenue decline in their fourth quarter earnings. Privately held 24-hour, which had around 445 clubs, reported a slide in 2019 earnings, partly due to a rocky debut of an automated system for checking in and signing up customers. So they tried to automate stuff and fire people, right? Like, well, we'll just put a computer in charge here, and that'll work out. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up what you want. It's Free Talk Live.
Poor Sam was a mess. Always itching, licking. His paws were soaking wet. He had bald spots on his back. DINOVITE.com. 2 weeks after he started Dynamite, I started seeing great improvements, and today 99% of his issues are non-existent.
Dynamite is nutrition.
Dynamite is the best thing you can do for your dog.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynamite from DINOVITE.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret Shaving Oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your AMP will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you AMP Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here. Bring up what you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. With you in the studio, by the way, it's Ian.
And Lumpy.
And Mark.
Freedom's Phoenix is a liberty-oriented news aggregation site. You want the newest and freshest stories and perspectives on current events from those who value liberty. Well, freedomsphoenix.com has it. Their daily dispatch is the best way to stay up to date on science, technology, historical findings, liberty news, government overspending, and the rise of the police state. Freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. That's freedomsphoenix.com.
I was just reading that daily dispatch of theirs during the break.
Excellent. What'd you see?
Oh, I don't remember because I just scanned through and go through.
You're telling the truth, though. You actually
Yes,
were reading
I
it?
did.
You just don't remember anything.
Oh, I can pull it right up.
Okay, good. I was just testing you, man. Just making sure you were being honest.
He might
with
be
me.
wrong, but he doesn't lie.
My job.
Your memory really is that bad.
It is that bad.
Okay, fair enough. Well, do me a favor. Pull it up.
Bookmarked them.
Do me a favor. Pull it up and give me. What's the top headline of the Daily Dispatch for the 17th of June of 2020.
Right. So here it is. This is the one I haven't opened. Federal court case to end water fluoridation is underway, but no media coverage. That's the need to know news. And the thing is that it's a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, it's a dispatch with
Jordan Peterson is back. Free States, Radical Decentralization, The War for Hearts and Minds from Lou Rockwell. The U.S. Treasury will pump another $1 trillion into the economy this month. Police bigotry bigotry in the drug war.
Candy.
USA
right,
plan, militarized control of the population, the National COVID-19 Testing Action Plan.
Check it out. Sign up for yours over at freedomsphoenix.com. As we go back to your phone calls and thoughts, we've been talking about the changes that gyms are going to be experiencing. Some of them are going bankrupt. Others are still closed. They haven't reopened yet. Others are reopening, but they're removing gym equipment. So they're pulling equipment out so as people can so-called social distance while they're at the gym. It's tough times, especially for movie theaters as well, which also used to rely on large numbers of people getting together in close proximity. Mike in Gold Bar, Washington, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi. I think the movie kiosk is going to take over in the inexpensive big screen TVs. Now, I just started going to what's called a Galaxy 12 theater right before the COVID. Like I went on Tuesday, maybe for a couple of months. And but by the time I got a popcorn and a soda, I was so disappointed in the experience because my $12 experience went to like closer to 30 first. I mean, popcorn's like $15.
Jesus.
So I think the movie kiosk is going to be kind of the way to go.
Now, when you say kiosk, are you talking about like the red box where they're renting DVDs to people?
Get them and that's what I'm just
I think that's
I'm an
over
old
too.
guy. I'm actually figuring that out right now at my local grocer.
I did the red box movie kiosk thing for some time.
Was this after they shut down the Blockbuster?
What happened was the economy went tanked, right? And my wife and I decided we were going to cut everything as far as costs go.
Smart move.
Cutting the cord and all that, and huge savings.
Yep.
And basically,
because you had satellite TV back then, right?
Then we started going to the grocery store. We had satellite, I think, at that time, and whatever. And we started going to the grocery store, and I'm like, oh, I'd like to see that movie. And she's like, well, for 99 cents, you can see the movie.
Okay.
Right?
You've been a good mark.
Right.
You can have
So,
a movie.
movie. And then pretty soon we're like, we can get the whatever the subscription was at the local video store at the time. You can pay this, and then I could see as many movies as I want. And the movie in the store was open till 11. So I could get off at 10.
This is the store that since has closed.
Oh, yeah, it's out of business now. And then at some point, Amazon Prime came along, and I could pay, I think it's on an average $8 a month, get my Amazon stuff shipped more quickly, and have more video than you can ever possibly watch in your lifetime if you watched every moment of every day.
So since you went on the Amazon thing, you haven't used the Redbox anymore?
No, really haven't. So Amazon sort of killed it off.
Am I still there?
Yep, you're here.
We got you.
Oh, I had a quick question. I'll get off and let some. So I'm going from weekdays on KBKW to YouTube instead. So I'm listening. That's how I'm doing it tonight. Grinding on my Android. It's a little slow, but I watched yesterday. I got a question. Does Conan need some? I got some T-shirts if he needs them.
Oh, you're referring to Conan. He was doing Topless Tuesday yesterday on that one. And by the way, if you don't want to watch on YouTube, we do have audio streams that.
I'm just kidding. It was kind of funny.
No, I'm not talking about it because of Conan. I'm saying you said it was slow. So if you're having issues with streaming video, you can just listen to our audio stream, which you can get anytime at freetalklive.com.
Right,
so that's always another way.
All right, you guys. Thank you and have a good night.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. So Mike was saying he was just getting into the Redbox thing now. So now that he's kind of getting out of theaters, he's getting into the Redbox thing.
Sure.
And I think that DVDs are already on the way out. They're already bargain bin product, right? Like I mean, how many people have bought a DVD brand new in the studio within the last 5 years?
The nice thing about a Blu-ray is that you have it.
Yes, you do.
Sometimes the internet goes out.
That's right.
Sometimes the internet's buffering. Sometimes things are slow. And I might have paid Amazon for the highest level of Ultra HD whatever.
But you can't get it.
But I can't get it because it can only travel as quickly as the internet will allow it to travel.
Right.
So if I buy the DVD, I can still play it.
That's true. When was the last time you bought a DVD? Can you remember?
Within the last 3 years.
What was it? A Marvel movie?
I have several of the Marvel movies on DVD. I also have
Blu-ray or DVD?
The last one I bought is Jupiter Ascending.
Okay.
Because I love that movie.
You love that
Is that a Marvel one?
No, it's by the Wachowskis. They used to be known as the Wachowski
sisters.
brothers, but now they're just the Wachowskis. And I love that movie.
They don't call themselves the Wachowski sisters now?
No.
Okay.
And I just think it's the greatest. I think it's so deep and the way it goes into the DNA and stuff like that.
You bought it on DVD, not Blu-ray?
It might be Blu-ray.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
You don't even know the difference.
I don't have a TV that's really that great. I have the 740 HD, 7 whatever,
Okay.
TV. So it's not that awesome. And I bought it years ago. I'm waiting for the remodel of the house to put in a new TV.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the speakers blew out of my TV, and I just bought a surround sound and plugged it in.
That solves that problem.
The cheapest surround sound I could get, and I keep the volume at 0.
We go to Gene the Christian Anarchist. He's on our Discord server. Go ahead, Gene.
Yeah, I wanted to tell everybody about the last time I lived through a pandemic, and that was in 1969. The Hong Kong flu pandemic killed over 1 million people worldwide. I remember when we shut down all the movie theaters and all the restaurants were closed.
You're being facetious. That didn't
People
happen.
were wearing masks and plastic gloves.
You also lived through the bubonic plague?
Yeah. And you know, we shut down. Everybody was on unemployment, and
he's joking, by the way, for listeners that are taking this seriously. That didn't happen in 1969.
No, in fact, in 1969, I was 17, so now everybody knows how old I am. But I was a senior in high school, and I didn't even know there was a pandemic going on, and it was 1 million people dead, and we did nothing. We didn't do anything. And here we've got a total of 100,000 dead. I mean, you know, it's really sad
for
the 100,000
That's in the U.S.
who died. But we're destroying everything for something that a lot of these people would have died anyway.
Hold that
probably
thought,
this
Gene. I want
year.
you to come back here if you can stick with us. And I want to hear
Sure.
your prediction, because we were talking about it earlier. Mark thinks people are going to be more likely to stand up against the government diktats next time. What do you think the people will do when they're told to lock it down and shut it down the second time? Hang on. More with Gene the Christian Anarchist coming up. Your thoughts are also welcome on Free Talk Live. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The monetary evolution comes to Las Vegas. Crypto Vegas is a one-day event featuring some of the brightest and most innovative minds in blockchain technology. Juan Galt, Anastasia Sergeyevna, Lynn Ulbricht, Jim Bell, Elise Sam, Float CEO Kingsley Edwards, and more. Tickets start at $20.20, and you can save 10% on VIP tickets using code FTL at CryptoVegasConference.com. July 18th, join Free Talk Live at CryptoVegasConference.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You may join us here. The phone lines are open. You may take control of the airwaves. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Liberty.menu. It's a great tool for the liberty community. If you are an individual who rejects the initiation of force and you agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle, then Liberty.menu can help you promote the things that you do. Maybe you've got a business that you want other Liberty people to know about. Get some new customers through the door, or the digital door if you're an online business. Maybe you've got digital content that you're the creator of. You want to share your show that you do with other people who care about freedom, or you've got an event that you're putting together. You can do all those things. Put up your items that you are interested in promoting at Liberty.menu. It's free to use the site, so really there's no reason not to do this unless you don't want people to know that you care about freedom. Go to Liberty.menu. You can use code FTL and get a special Free Talk Live listener badge on your profile. We're back with Gene, the Christian anarchist. He's on our Discord server with me, Ian, and we got Lumpy and Mark over there as well. Gene, I was asking you, to weigh in on the discussion we were having earlier about what do you think, when or if this second wave comes in, or COVID-20 or COVID-21 or whatever the next one is, that the fearmongers want to put out there, and the crackdown comes again or lockdowns come again. Are we going to see people behave the same way the second time, where they just do what they're told, they shut up, they go home, they shut down, and we enter into an even deeper recession? Or are we going to see more resistance from people like Carl Mankey, the barber, the 77-year-old barber in northern Michigan, or the salon-owning woman down in Dallas, Texas? Are we going to see more of that, or are we going to see even more obedience? What do you think?
Well, let's hope that we see more of it. I think that most people that I talk to anyway are very fed up with all of this.
Okay.
And, if all these police departments shut down, well, then nobody's going to be around to bust you if you keep your business open anyway.
That's a good
point. So that's probably a good thing. But
good point. So the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone will, not have police cracking down because the police aren't there. But the rest of us still have the cops. But, I appreciate your optimism.
Well, and I do want to tell what our experience has been now with our clinic. Is we've been open the entire time, of course. Now, it was very slow for at least 2 months. We barely had enough people coming through the door to keep the doors open.
Wow.
But we have only had, I don't have the exact numbers, but somewhere around 25 patients that tested positive with COVID. And all of them have gotten better. One went to the hospital for a couple of days.
Did they have to go on a ventilator?
I don't believe they were on the ventilator.
Okay.
And then the hospital here, one of the hospitals, now in the Memphis area, we've only got 2 hospital chains, and I'm not going to mention which one, but they tested 6,000 of their employees.
Memphis hospital chains.
Yeah, there's only 2, so you narrow it down right there. You got a 50-50 chance.
Okay.
But anyway, this particular chain tested 6,000 employees for COVID-19. They got 1 per 1,000, so 6
of them
tested positive. They finally just stopped the testing of their employees. They said economically it doesn't make sense. So they stopped testing.
So what you're saying is even people working in a hospital were relatively unaffected by this.
Yes, and the hospitals here are empty. Now, I can't speak for hospitals all over the country, but from what I hear, we're not alone in this regard. Many hospitals are just dying. They can't even pay their payroll, and they're having to lay off nurses and tell doctors not to come in because they just don't have patients. So what are we doing all this for? This is what I want people to ask themselves. Why are we putting ourselves through all this? The numbers don't add up. They don't make sense.
Well, because government said so, and they're there for our best interests and to help us be better people.
And as full of wisdom as you are, Gene, and I've heard you over the years, and you've got a lot of wisdom, and I appreciate that. There's sometimes there's no way to just talk to people and just to just get them to see reason.
That's why I love this show, because it's an open mic to let people know what you feel like. And been a listener now for 15 years or something like that.
One of our longest running amplifiers. Thank you for that.
I just listened to my first phone call to you guys, because I've been downloading all these all over the years. So I pulled that one up and I listened to it.
You can do that at archives.freetalklive.com. Should you call in, and you can hear your call too.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. You were Manwich, by the way, back then.
That is a long time ago. I can't remember when I stopped being Manwich, but
that was a long time ago.
06 or something like that. It wasn't long into it.
It was, it was a long. The reason was because Ted, who runs our syndicate, was concerned that ConAgra Foods would sue us, and so I'm like, okay.
Hey, Gene, anything else you want to share tonight?
That's all for tonight, guys.
Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate hearing from you. Let's talk a little bit more about the difficulties in the recession. CNN Business reporting on as many as 25,000 retail stores in the United States are expected to permanently close. Not just some bankruptcy protection where they can come back, but to permanently close this year as consumer demand for discretionary items stalls and more people shift to online shopping, according to a firm tracking the industry. So far in 2020, more than 4,000 stores have said they will permanently close, according to a report released Tuesday by Coresight Research, a retail research and advisory firm. They anticipate closures will snowball and set a new annual record this year, breaking last year's record of 9,300.
The only reason to stay open right now is so that you can get as much money out of the government before you go out of business as possible.
Retailers have been slammed by the coronavirus pandemic and recession. Now remember, the media always blames coronavirus, but it's the government that you should be blaming because they're the ones who shut these businesses down. Pier 1 Imports, JCPenney, Tuesday morning, which I've never heard of, which have all filed for bankruptcy, have announced intentions to close hundreds of stores. GNC and Victoria's Secret are closing hundreds more. Quote, apparel.
Don't women need underwear anymore?
I guess you can order them online.
Yeah, I guess you can.
Favorite store.
Apparel, retail, and department stores look set to feature prominently in total store closures, the researchers said. A range of forces that were present before the pandemic are driving up the closures, including unsustainable debt levels and the continued shift to online shopping. Then came the economic shock from the recession. Consumer confidence and demand will stall in the coming months, sparking additional closings, Coresight predicts. The firm said there will be a, quote, major uptick, unquote, in store closings because consumer demand for discretionary items will be, quote, below normal. So if you've got a situation where people are out of work, now, yeah, some of them are getting welfare and they're getting quite a bit, but some people are out of work. And they, businesses, maybe they're free to reopen, but if the customers aren't coming back out because they're in savings mode, well, then a lot of those businesses aren't going to hire back all the employees that they had before, leaving more people out of work. Or people have just developed new patterns, and they want to get the things they want to get online, where they can go to shop.freetalklive.com and do just that, or go to saveatpurse.com and save money by using cryptocurrency. Big time. But people are, the new patterns, that's a real thing. And the people that are saving their money aren't going to be as likely to buy what they're calling discretionary items. So, maybe they don't need that new coffee maker. Maybe they can get by with things that they currently have, and they don't need the brand new television screen that we were talking about earlier. So there's going to be some products that would have been purchased this year had things been normal, but because they're not, people are crossing those off their list. They're going into that tightening down mode that you talked about earlier that you and your wife did back when the recession hit in 2008. There's probably a lot of people who are following that
We've
measure.
never gotten another TV plan. I mean, there's we don't. There's just things we got rid of. We never got
you
back.
Didn't come back to. Retailers that were struggling to stay in business pre-crisis are unlikely to have the wherewithal to stay the course on the road to recovery, said the researchers. More than half of the store closures are expected to come in malls. Indoor shopping malls have been struggling in recent years amid declining foot traffic and fierce competition.
Right, and many of these cases are things that were going to happen anyway.
And they've been
and just like the people that were dying in the nursing home, COVID is killing off the businesses that were dying anyway.
It hurried the process up.
I think it's killing off a lot because I look at people, I think there are people getting outside and getting physical, but I think people, the closing of the gyms, I'm not a big gym person. I like to get my exercise when I work, when I go outside.
Well, you can't get
everyone's
big.
shut down and they're getting weaker. They're getting weaker. Their booties are expanding. Their muscles are contracting.
The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. That's for sure. People are still well-fed. It's Free Talk Live.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. Silverlungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
Oh, so you're wearing a mask every day now? Where are you getting them?
The same website where I get my neck and body wraps, sunnybay.com. And they're handmade.
Really?
Just like their wraps in the USA.
Oh, and good quality?
Oh, very good. These are disposable face masks.
And good price?
That's the best part. I get a 10-pack for only $6.
Wow.
Yes, as a public service, we're now sourcing disposable face masks with level 1 protection at sunnybay.com. Get a 10-pack of high-quality, more breathable face masks, only $6. Our face masks are hypoallergenic, latex-free, and made for stress-free all-day wearing. Or choose our N95 respirator masks 2-pack for only $6. Supplies are limited, so place your order at sunny-bay.com, a Biomed DB design company right here in the USA. Go to sunny-bay.com and purchase your disposable face masks online. 10 masks for only $6. Just click sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com.
Houseflies defecate every 4 to 5 minutes, spreading diseases and germs. Protect your food and your health with Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic, no batteries required. Only $39.95. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter. Get your Bug Assault today.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live, the toll-free number where you can take control of the airwaves. 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms at discord.lrn.fm. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Lumpy.
And Mark.
Talking about the future of retail and, well, at least according to short-term projections,
it isn't looking so bright for a lot of store owners and employees out there, especially if you're in a mall. You're going to have it. You've already been having a tough time. Now it's even worse. You're lucky if you're going to be able to reopen and have any customers come back in. According to industry analyst group CoreSight Research. So we continue here. We'll take more of your calls and thoughts. You can bring up anything that you want to discuss here on Free Talk Live. But coming up in less than a week, we are just several days away from the beginning of Fork Fest, which is now a 2-week-long event. We had been promoting it as a 1-week-long event from June 29th until July 5th, but now some are starting their Fork Fest celebrations on June 22nd, and we're going to be there to join them. Free Talk Live going to be kicking off broadcast. Mark, have you figured out when you're going up there?
I was intending to go up on like the weekends and sort of, show up on Friday evening, leave on Sunday afternoon kind of thing.
Okay, that's nice that you finally let me know about that. Now I know what to expect out of you. So Free Talk Live will be there broadcasting starting on Monday, and we will be there every single day through the entirety of the event. And then there's another event happening too, the Porcupine Freedom Festival. That'll be in the first week. So
will you be taking calls?
It's impossible to take calls from the campground. We unfortunately will not be live. Those will be 2 weeks in which the only way you'll be able to get on the show is to be there. So if you want to join us on a third microphone or something like that and sit in for a segment and talk about something, that's cool. We can do that. But there's the technological restrictions on the campground basically make it so we have to do it that way. But it'll still be good, and we'll still have a good time.
It's always good.
And we'll have fun, and you'll have a good time if you're at Fork Fest, I suspect, because, well, first of all, what else are you going to do? I mean, how many other festivals are going on this summer? Because I know they canceled Burning Man, and I know they've canceled a lot of concerts. Captain Kickass was telling me that a bunch of shows have been just
all the whale
canceled.
Watching in Provincetown, Massachusetts.
It's
all
outdoors. What's the point of that?
Whale watching or concerts?
Well, if the concert's outdoors, the contention I would have is that an outdoor event shouldn't be a place that it's going to be that bad.
Well, they are restricting outdoor events, and I don't know if it's the government who's doing it or if it's the event promoters, this horizontal pressure that we were talking about, societal pressure from people who are the mask wearer types, the people who are, I don't want to go to a concert, I'm scared. Well, okay, it's okay. We're going to have a drive-in.
I really can't stand you mask-wearing people. If you're listening right now, I'm going to tell you right now, you drive me nuts.
Well, now, but unfortunately, the business owners think that they're a significant portion of the population, and maybe they are. We don't know what portion of the population is a mask wearer.
The stupid
versus
part.
Not. Well, they could be gullible. May not be stupid. It may just be that they're afraid.
I love walking around stores in masks. I mean, the idea of walking into a bank here in New Hampshire, where you're allowed to conceal carry into a bank, you can walk into a bank with a mask and a gun.
I've walked into a mask. I've
It's
walked
amazing.
into the Bank of America with a gun here numerous times years ago.
Yep, and now you could do it with a gun, mask and a gun. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The world is upside down.
It is. It really is. So anyway, join us at Fork Fest. I hope there are not a lot of masked people at Fork Fest, because I suspect they will be staying home.
Yeah, because you're going to have to tell me to shut up.
Forkfest.party is where you can go. We got people hanging out in the Forkfest chat room. There is a Forkfest forum as well. One of the guys from the chat room just recently launched a Forkfest calendar. So if you wanted to, say, have an event that you're going to be doing at Forkfest and you want other people to know about it, you can ask the gentleman, Brian Becker. He's in the Forkfest chat, and he will put the thing that you have on his calendar.
Is it a Google Calendar?
No, it's some sort of privately hosted thing, I think.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
It's not relying on
cool.
Google for that. So, and he's going to be posting about that tonight on the Forkfest forum. So go to forkfest.party. You can learn more about the event there. And it's going to be basically the next 2 weeks starting on Monday. Will culminate on the weekend of the 4th of July. So it'll be fun to have a Independence Day celebration so we can celebrate the independence that somebody had at some time that we don't have anymore.
And if you're coming from outside of, New Hampshire, New England, wherever you're coming from for this thing, just come. Just come. The people are. This is a good event. If you're worried about the price of your tent side or your motel room or something, there are people there who
they'll share it with you.
They'll share it with you. They'll share the cost with you. It's these are not. These are good people.
29. I think it's like $29 a night for a tent site.
Yeah, a lot of guys.
You split that in half. You're talking about $15.
Yeah,
a
if you're
night.
coming for a couple of weeks, I don't know, 29. Yeah, but that's probably without. I think $29. That's probably without power and water.
No, they all have power, I think, and they all have water. I don't think they all have power.
There are some along the side. The cheapest of them don't have power.
They don't have. But do they have water?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I mean, does it really matter if you
split it with 3 or 4 people?
If you're out there in a tent and you brought your own bucket, does it really matter where you get your water from at that point?
You can go walk down to the bathhouse and get water there. So check it out, forkfest.party. Let's go to the phones and to your calls. David in New Mexico on Free Talk Live. You're on. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got Armageddon, New Mexico. If you Google Albuquerque, the news that comes up right away is this shooting at the left was trying to rip down the statue of a genocidal figure from the Spaniards, Oñate, who came and chopped the feet off of Indians and stuff like that. So they're trying to pull that down. And then the Cowboys from eastern New Mexico with their militia come in to defend the statue. And they get into a fight. They got the left bashing the Cowboys over the head with skateboards and pulling knives on them. And then
it doesn't seem like a good idea to do with a cowboy.
Yeah, well, no, probably not. Because the guy's in the hospital. He got 3 slugs pumped through his chest.
Whoa!
But he's still alive. Yeah.
Damn.
So, but anyway, and that's not even the
So
news.
who got
The
shot?
news
Was
is
it the lefty who got shot by the cowboy?
Yeah, the lefty brought a knife to a gunfight, and the lefty's in the hospital.
But he's going to be able to just think of all the young lefty ladies that are going to think he's the bravest guy around, though.
Yeah, all the young lefty ladies that ain't going to give him anything.
He has successfully signaled. Well, they may give him something like chlamydia.
Yeah, I doubt it. He won't even get that lucky. They like each other.
Chicks dig scars, so that's what he was doing with the skateboard, trying to pick up some scars so he could pick up some chicks, and he used a skateboard to hit the cowboy over the head, and the cowboy pulled a gun and gave him 6 really cool scars, one on the way in and one on the way out.
Have they arrested the cowboy, or is he self-defense? He's good to go.
No, they arrested him. He's in jail. He's being charged. But that's not even the news. The news is that, just like Bush was sitting there pretending he was reading the story to little kids in the school, pretending he didn't know that this attack on the World Trade Centers were coming. Mayor Keller had his police force standing down away from this area and they had intelligence. They knew the lefties were coming in to rip the statue down, and they knew the armed militia was coming in to defend the statue, and the mayor had a stand-down order for the cops to not interfere until after the gunshots came in, and then the cops came in and and so
they are a cleanup crew.
So they weren't protecting and serving when they knew they had the opportunity to, is what you're saying.
No, I think what the mayor was doing is I think the mayor wanted it to go down so he could then use that to do whatever other emergency orders he wants to do, just
Makes
like Bush
perfect
did.
sense.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Bush and Cheney.
Yeah, well, I don't know how this went down. I certainly didn't watch any video or anything like that. But if the guy defending the statue was simply doing like the sort of the basketball thing where you get in front of the other guy to prevent him from doing something, and then the guy wants to whack him over the head with a skateboard and pull out a knife or whatever the case, you whack somebody over the head with a skateboard. As far as I'm concerned, that's aggravated battery. Yeah. And it's fine to show your gun at that point and say, "Hey, aggravating battering me is a bad idea." And at which point the guy's like, "Ha! I have a knife," at which point it's fine to pull out a gun and defend yourself.
That's what you'd think, but apparently they arrested him.
Well, they arrest all kinds of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a right to defend yourself in New Mexico in a fight?
It depends on whether you're on the left or on the right, or who you know. Who's your uncle? Who's
Depends
your
on
cousin,
the politics of the
Mexico.
situation. Okay, yeah.
It's New Mexico, so you got to have cousins,
Thanks for sharing that tonight, David, in New Mexico. Definitely appreciate hearing from you. And we will continue. We got plenty more Free Talk Live coming up here in this week as the countdown to Forkfest has begun, the final week before it. Go check out forkfest.party.
What day are you going?
I already told you, Monday.
Monday. All right.
We're going for 2 weeks.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So
you're leaving in the morning, and you'll have a show up for Monday.
That's right.
Evening. Okay.
Yeah, that's the plan. So we'll see you then, and online. In the meantime, you can join us over at freetalklive.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had got involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Are you tired of governments around the world killing innocent people? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin is money that cannot be inflated or controlled by any state. By continuing to use their money, you're perpetuating the killing. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available to you now. Learn it, use it, spread it.
Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. It's Bitcoin.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,729, silver at $17.71, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,461. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, when it comes to fighting COVID-19, mass testing, effective contact tracing, and wearing face masks in public are all claimed to be effective at curbing the disease's spread. Technological solutions are still being developed across much of the world, and Germany has just rolled out its new Corona Warning app. Reuters reports the app, now available for Apple and Android devices, uses Bluetooth short-range radio to measure close contacts between people and issues a warning should one of them later test positive for COVID-19. But, as Statista's Neil McCarthy notes, even though experts have praised the app, the public is divided about using it for privacy reasons. Activist Post reports that in April, 47% of the German public said they would use such an app, but that fell to 42% by June. According to polling data, 46% currently say they would not use the app. That's an increase on the 42% saying they would not use it back in April. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines. 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Kenta Settles, a 28-year-old father of three who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, PTSD, and ADHD, had committed no crime earlier this year when he was approached and subsequently assaulted and arrested by several officers with the Garfield Heights Police Department. Because prosecutors chose to never watch the body camera footage to find out what actually happened, Settles spent 5 months of his life locked in a cage on trumped-up charges. Settles, represented by Jeremy Torr, has since filed a lawsuit against the city of Garfield Heights and the Garfield Heights Police Department, alleging false arrest, violation of constitutional rights, and excessive force for the stop which took place on January 23rd. However, charges were dropped last week after prosecutors watched the video. The Free Thought Project reports Settles was finally freed after spending months away from his children, all because the cops who approached him that night had no idea how to actually investigate an alleged crime, and instead resorted to immediate escalation of force. Journalist and photographer Linda Tirado was standing near a police line in Minneapolis on May 29th, covering the George Floyd protests engulfing the city. All of a sudden, her face, in her own words, exploded. She had been shot from close range in the eye, permanently blinding her. Mid-Press News reports the police had shot her. Protesters pulled her away from her attackers, put her into a vehicle, and drove her to the hospital, where they were unable to save her eye, but were able to give her a $58,000 bill, likely the first of many. Now, in a wide-ranging interview with writer Luke O'Neill, she spoke out about the ordeal. In the interview, Tirado revealed that her first reaction to receiving the enormous bill, initially slated to be $2,900 per month, was to laugh. Tirado is a freelance journalist, supported by readers through Patreon. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
I'm Brooke Alvarez, and while I may not acknowledge your presence in person, and if you try to approach me, you'll most certainly be hit in the face with the stinging nettles I carry on me at all times, I like to take a moment every now and again to answer your questions so that you can get to know the real me. Here's a tweet from @Kirkamunga saying, what is the most important thing to remember when talking to people who may not be as informed as you? I love this question, Kirkamunga. There are 3 simple steps to dealing with uninformed people. First, when you realize that someone doesn't know something, repeat very loudly in their face the thing they don't know. For example, you don't know who the Prime Minister of Zimbabwe is? Second, look to everyone around you and let them know that this person is completely ignorant. Hey everyone, Sebastian doesn't know who the Prime Minister of Zimbabwe is. Third, you call up the Prime Minister of Zimbabwe and tell him that Sebastian doesn't know who he is, and then laugh really loudly until the ignorant person just leaves in utter shame. If you'd like to ask me a question, just tweet it to my handle @BrookeAlvarez or post it to my Facebook wall.
This is the Onion News Network.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Yeah, and appeared in the freaking shadow of the shadow, man. I mean, yeah, I tell you what we're going to do today. In the first hour, we got Jay Noon, we'll yak it. We've been doing a lot of work here and everything, stuff going on. We have the headlines and such to go over. In the second hour, Mark Victor, attorneysforfreedom.com. Mark Victor has been my partner in crime for a lot of stuff. We did Freedom Summit for years in Phoenix. He's an attorney, criminal defense attorney that is just opened an office. He has one in the East Valley in the Phoenix area in Chandler, and he just opened last February an office in Honolulu, Hawaii. He goes, yeah, I like Hawaii. I'll go there and I can make money there too. So we'll do. It has a law practice there.